Hopefully it doesn't go black.
I just hope people don't mind me eating my veggie chips.
Woo! Alright, this is the first time, guys. Hey, Mary.
Ah!
Look at that.
Hi!
Hi. Don't do that!
Sorry, I really
Jesus.
need to eat.
It's a big crunch, man. Can you do like a little snap test? Just talk in the mic. Just talk in the mic and then I'll talk to the mic.
ASMR, please.
Oh, Bryce. Yo, Jesse, thank you for the 19 months. Oh! That's a pickle and a half. So the reason why we are gathered here today is I've died. Jokes, I haven't died. Megs, you can go on screen eating. It's fine. Just don't eat in the mic. Like that's all. Like that's all.
My sincerest apologies. I love that. Thank you, Mara. And I'm only here because I knew you'd be listening.
I'm only here for Meaghan. All right, that's fine. So, Megs, tell us about yourself. So to give you some like credit and then some insight, she's like, "Oh, can you please explain have people explain who they are before they talk in the talk show?" I'm like, "You'll get to know them when you actually listen to what they have to say." But all right, tell us about yourself. I'm a host now.
I'm here for Deer's white legs.
Yo. Yikes.
Okay, well, I'm Meaghan. I'm Reagan's girlfriend, one of.
What?
One of his girlfriends.
I didn't know about that. So is there something I'm missing out on? Are they hot?
Reasonably. None are hotter than me, though.
Who? Tell me these women. Where'd they come from?
Anyway,
We're gonna brush past that one.
yeah, we are.
Alright, I'm gonna give me a sec.
I have a bachelor's degree in environmental science, and I'm currently studying environmental health practice. That's the kind of stuff that I am interested in. But apart from that, you're pretty much my only other hobby. Hanging out with you. No, isn't that door is one of husbands? What?
Isn't that
I can't read it. It's so small.
okay? Get your eyes checked. Oh wait, you don't. You need glasses.
Yeah, they're at home.
Top.
Right corner. I can see the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. No, isn't that Deer is one of the Meaghan's husbands? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna try to do something different. Usually, I would like to be talking to the person when I'm talking, but I guess on the side angle.
Yeah. Actually, I do have two husbands.
Oh yeah.
Keegan's my other one. Wife stealer.
Yeah. Okay, so for those that don't know, those one of you 1,000 that listen to podcast number 8, Keegan and Jacob have gone for 100 kilometer or 2 miles. I don't know the conversion.
2 miles. I think it's a bit different.
They've gone for a 100 kilometer walk in whatever direction, and I don't know where they are. But I think they might be coming back.
14 kilometers. Is that a joke?
Okay.
14 kilometers.
So let's scratch that. Let's scratch that.
You should take bets on how far they'll make it, and you bet 60Ks, didn't you?
I did. I thought that they would make try to make
roadworks and turn around.
That's not okay. So this is
conversion
also
there.
an audio.
8.6 miles.
It's also an audio
I am aware of
podcast, so
that.
people in the ladder listening need to know what's going on.
Sorry.
So they went for a walk, did 100 Ks, but only turned out they did 14, and I just found out just then. So that's great. Good on you guys. Good job.
Yeah, good. I would say good effort, but I feel like it's not. It's not a good effort at all.
Yeah. I just want to know who was responsible for the quitting. Was it Jacob or was it Keegan? My bets was Keegan.
Yeah, my bets were on Keegan too.
Keegan's like, can't be stuffed now. So I think it could have been. Don't say that it was the roadworks. I think it was a person's decision to not do it, as opposed to.
Didn't they get They went out and bought like all sorts of equipment and stuff, didn't they, to like prepare?
No, Jacob's just being nice. So Bacon is Mitchell's saying that he reckons that it was a joint decision, but that's not true. That's not true. I love Keegan, but it was Keegan that bitched it. They bought like 24 pack of water and they only did 14 Ks, man. 14 Ks. It's more than what I've done, but it's not 100. It's definitely not 100.
We actually did stair sprints this morning as
Yeah.
part of our exercises.
That would have been
Not that far, like 400 meters maximum today. That
but
we've
it was on like
walked.
a 30% gradient. Which let me actually get those stats up right now.
So, just for context, I am doing an 8-week challenge at the moment. If anybody knows Sarah's Day, I bought her ebook for her 8-week challenge, and I've been doing it, and I'm at end of week 6 today. And today's activity was stair sprints, and I've never done stair sprints before. So we went to our uni, which is around the corner, and ran up and down the stairs at like just out front of the gym, because obviously the gym's closed. And yeah, and then we went, and I was a little shit this morning, I'll be honest. I was so frustrated because I don't know in stair sprints if you're allowed to like skip the steps.
Who
or...
sprints like with...
I don't know, with the little like tippy tappies.
Like imagine like a Chinese geisha that like walks around like with like taking like really small steps. Who sprints like that? Who runs like that? No one. So I think that you can skip steps. Otherwise it's not a sprint. It's just climbing up every individual step very fast.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so we tried to do stair sprints, and she recommended that we do 10 rounds of it. And then we did that, and I didn't feel very accomplished because it only took us 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
100 every morning. Sorry. I shouldn't read the chat. Anyway, it only took us 8 minutes, and then I decided to like run to the stairs and back. And then we went on a bloody mission to go and find a basketball court, because it is so hard to find a basketball court that has a ring that you're allowed to use plus a full court. We ended up at some primary school around the corner.
1/7 Mitchell.
Yeah, we ended up at a primary school playing there, and there's like sun showering. But there you go. That was our exercise for today. So
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I'm actually pretty shocking. I've been practicing almost every day trying to play basketball and get my swish up. And I went to an actual full size court. It was a kid's ring, so I'm not sure if it was like any different height or anything like that. But I was just missing. I'm like,
it felt like it was tall enough.
yeah, but the ring felt tiny, man. It was
It's probably a multi netball and basketball ring.
But I think aren't netball rings actually bigger than basketball rings? I thought.
No.
All I know
because
is
basketballs are bigger.
really.
Mm.
Well, there you go. It was, and the square felt kind of small. Jesse does 100 every morning, 100 Ks every morning, or 100
Stair sprints.
stair sprints, or what? But guys, I am not trying
I
to.
apologize for my laugh, actually, before we go any further.
Your what?
My laugh. It's so frustrating, and it's like a little cackle.
It's fine.
And I don't like it.
They're gonna have to get used to it because you're the executive assistant / producer for Hardstuck. So
Yeah, as I found out this morning.
we're trying to give her a roles, but I'm trying to. So this is really hard. Don't make me. I'm gonna have to get it. My bag of jelly beans. Give me a sec. Besides this crap. Hello, and no, this is not casting couch, guys. Come on, get your head out the gutter.
Nobody was thinking it.
Well, you said it, and you're innocent. So,
I don't know if that's what Jess are doing it.
huh?
He just did that face, the little face.
I don't know. Maybe it was to me. I am trying to find the hardness of gradients. How much harder is 10% gradient? How much What were you saying? I completely forgot, honestly.
We're talking about me being the executive producer, apparently. Executive assistant. So I just think I'm very good at organizing things. I'm very good at keeping people on track. And I also, I don't know, maybe not maternal, but I am very like, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, but I just like to take care of people and make sure that, dear, get off your PC and talk. But I just like to, like take care of people. So I feel like my role in this house would be just to like take care of everybody, make sure everyone's on track. I was saying to Reagan today, I'm gonna like go around to everybody and be like, everyone has to get up, do some exercise, let's all go for a walk together, and like make sure, are you doing the thing you're supposed to be doing today? Is it done? Meet the deadline, you know.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
And we actually haven't.
Yeah, do you need to give context to the listeners? Because I feel like
Yeah, I'm getting there. I was getting there. So the guys haven't found out except for Jacob, Blake, Megs, and myself. But we're gonna have a conversation with y'all about we're gonna have a conversation with the guys about what expectations are, roles and rules, and kind of things like that, just so we can actually set some ground rules. Because I think all of us can be not lazy. I wouldn't say we're lazy, but we're very good at procrastinating and getting the ball rolling. So I'm really trying to crack the whip and get that little
that whip.
Oh my god. I'm trying to get that crack that whip and get the ball rolling so that we can, start producing stuff and doing stuff other than just, playing League, getting angry, playing COD, getting angry. Not as angry, but
getting angry? I don't know about that.
Playing Fortnite, getting angry, or just
Fortnite's dead, didn't you hear?
I was watching anime and like cooking animes. I think, if that's what we want to do, that's fine. But I feel like we're just trying to just kind of not cut time, but kind of just spend our day, just go through our day and just do stuff. Whereas I think everyone wants to be productive, especially during these times, like through the COVID times. No one's got stuff to do, so I'm trying to.
Got plenty of stuff to do. They're just not doing it.
But yeah, because they got no people. I think people like work, not as in like maybe they might not like their job. Sorry to hit those feels for those, but I think people want to work. Like I want to work. I want to do things. Yeah. So I'm trying to get that ball rolling. And this I've only just started using this laptop, but this has got heaps of documents. I set up heaps of documents, and we're gonna probably. I think you guys are only gonna be the people that know this, but we're gonna do behind the scenes of setting up this whole thing. So when we actually start it, we're gonna record behind the scenes and record all that stuff. So like,
and have it in a room where there's not a mirror right behind me, so you can see the stream. Yeah.
But we're gonna do behind the scenes and all that stuff. Record on processes along the way, so that in 2 years, 3 years time, when we people go, oh, how the hell how did we get here?
Oh, you mean behind the scenes of the whole house?
The house, the whole project.
Behind the scenes of the podcast.
Or behind the scenes of this podcast, behind the scenes of this whole project, so then we can reflect and go, this is where we started. This is how we built it, and then we can see the processes of how shit got done. Yeah. Because I think that's a missing link of a lot of people is how the fuck do you go from here to here? What happened? Because I would love to know how Misfits and stuff like that started and built up. So, yes, I'm still looking for the gradient because I had a fact. And I found it a long time ago because one time I ran up a hill. Over here because near where I live, it's in the hills, like the foothills. It's in Pasadena, and it's like Pasadena and.
I wouldn't call it foothills at all.
I don't know what totally I'm not a geographist. Mm-hmm. I'm having a stroke. It's chilly as fuck.
Reagan is deceased.
You can't climb a hill. You can't take a skateboard. You can't skateboard here safely. Let's just say that. Okay. You can't go down a scooter. You'll go you will start getting the wobbles. You know what I mean? That's how hilly I guess it is. So try to do a kind of a incline, like a run incline. It was maybe 5 to 10%, and I got to the top and just threw up. I was like, what? What am I a dog? Did I just like throw up? Like, why do I randomly throw up? So, and that's when I found I was looking at like how much harder it is. But
It's okay. Everyone knows that running up a hill is harder than running on a flat surface. I feel like that's general knowledge, right? People get it. We did stair sprints. They weren't fun. The end.
But yeah, I reckon it was like 20 to 30% on the stair sprints because you got steps, but maybe 10 meters long, but it's 2 meters up, 3 meters up, so it's brain cells clicking.
Dial-up noises.
Yeah, I think it's 30%. Anyway, Megs is laughing at me, and I don't know why. We don't need that stress. We don't need that meanness in this life. Yeah. What else are we doing? We also moving out. Moving out. We're planning on moving out. We looked at a house. We've applied for a house. Got my dad to be a reference. Dumbest thing ever. It's like, where have you lived previously? It's like, my house. And then you have to get your parents to be like, yeah, that person lived here. It's like, of course I fucking lived here. I
don't know. I guess people do lie about it if they want to get approved for certain places.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, you do have to check. And if someone's living in your house, you want to make sure that they're trustworthy.
Yeah, you're right. And then it's like, where'd you live previously?
Or like, if you have no previous address, why?
Imagine being like a 5-year-old kid and had to like move around like 17 times as a kid, and then going like, list all your previous houses. You're like, I don't know. I was 5.
Yeah.
Like, sue me.
And I guess that's a different thing. It's like, how open are you with your parents about stuff like that? Like, are you able to have those conversations and like tell people or like talk to them and be like, I'm moving out. What should I do?
Yeah. So we're doing behind the scenes with that. That's been stopped. That process has been stopped. But we've got underneath my bed, we got like vacuum sealed bags full of clothes. We've got boxes and stuff like that ready. We're just waiting for, I guess.
We basically just have to pack up the things that are in our wardrobes and like in our actual bedrooms.
Yeah.
Rather than other things, like, because we bought a bunch of furniture a while back. If any of you guys watch our YouTube channel, then you would have seen.
Speaking of which, we've now been doing it for 5 years. 5 years, guys.
Yeah, we hit 5 years.
Like,
apparently
April 23rd. That's awesome.
That was the shittest high five ever.
And we've got 113,000 views. Famous.
That means we hadn't even been together a year when we started our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
That's so hectic. Oh, God.
What can I say?
Anyway, we bought a bunch of furniture back in November, and we do have footage of us doing that. And then I wanted to film an update video, but we haven't gotten around to that yet because Reagan's working full time, and like weekends we spend doing stuff that we like. We like filming videos, but for example, today we went out and we played basketball, and like
we woke up
so late,
and then we made pancakes for like 11:30, 12.
We ate breakfast with quotation marks at like 12:30. Sorry.
Can you not be mean? Like, what?
Sorry, one of my friends wants me to proofread his.
No.
Yes.
Not right now. Not right now. That's rude.
No, not right now.
Kyle Burpee going to come in here and he's going to be annoying.
Tonight.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to moving out. I'm looking forward to having freedoms of speech.
I think it's going to come, like, it is going to be, it's going to be mostly exciting for us because, like, obviously we're starting a new chapter in our lives and in our relationship, but it's also going to come with a lot of extra stress. And we were kind of talking about this last night, is that there's going to be a lot larger mental burden on us, in that, like, we now will have to run a household and we've never done that before, but in the nicest way possible. If Keegan and Mitchell can live on their own and survive, I feel like we'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, except for the fact that Keegan didn't want 100Ks.
Well, look, I think that doesn't say anything about how he lives as a person.
It might.
It's just his willpower.
Yeah. Now I have to do 100Ks because otherwise, like, I haven't got shit to speak about.
Mm-hmm.
I've done about.
You wouldn't be able to walk 100Ks.
Okay, that's fine. I did like 70Ks, hike 70Ks with like rucksack on my back. That's fine.
They literally have dead roaches everywhere. Oh, okay. Our house would be better
What?
than that.
What? They have what?
Dead cockroaches.
Mitchell
Apparently.
and Keegan.
Yeah, apparently.
Your coffee machine does.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
It does, lady. So Megan's coffee machine, I don't know how, but she has like little baby cockroaches that come out of it or like live there or something like that. And I don't understand
It's not happened
where they come from.
more than twice.
No, it has. I'm like, where are these little roachies coming from, man? The tiny little cockroaches. And then Yoki tries to play with them and he's like, bites it. And then he goes, that's fucking gross. I'm going to put that back. Put that back on the floor. But there's
That's
been a
another
few
thing.
times where there's like a cockroach in your coffee machine or in like your compost bin or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
They're
compost
next to
bin.
each other. So it's like, you know, but weird.
It's been a feat convincing my parents to have a compost bin and to recycle properly. So
Well, they are boomers. So, you know, it's good. It's good.
that's
Sorry.
another thing though, is that like you get to live with Gnocchi, my dog.
I'm a grow hair where I didn't grow hair before because the little dog gonna have hair everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have two hair dropping things in my house. You and the dog.
Well, you can get a grip.
Grip of what?
But that's your life now.
Yeah, I know. I have
Seems like a fair trade-off. Everything I do for you for a little bit of hair on the ground. Right?
I guess, yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. As long as you don't make me put a feeding tube in my stomach, and you don't put shit in my body. What is that syndrome called?
Munchausen by proxy.
Yeah, we saw that.
We
We
watched
saw-
the Gypsy Rose Blanchard documentary last night about. It's called Mummy Dead and Dearest.
I felt so sorry for her. I think what she did was just killing's a bit weird and getting someone involved, but
Yeah. The
Yeah.
way it went down, I feel like, was not appropriate.
a bit weird as
If you
well.
guys haven't seen it, it's on HBO. Is
So,
where the documentary is. So if
people-
you have Foxtel in
yeah.
Australia, you can watch it. Or
Yeah.
if you've got, I don't know, cable. Is that what it is in America?
I don't know.
Then you can watch.
The American version of Rupert Murdoch. I don't know. Whatever that is. HBO.
Can I have some water, please?
Yeah, you got him.
Oh, thank you. Sweaty bottles.
But yeah, it's weird because this Munchausen by proxy is like when parents convince their kids they have like diseases and are sick, and like take them to doctors and then say they've got, you know, like they're autistic or they're retarded or they've got you know, can't see properly or can't hear properly, so they give them like, you know, pills that produce other symptoms, and then they go to another doctor and say this kid's got these symptoms like amnesia or sleep apnea or something, so they give them more pills, and then they just like keep feeding these kids pills so that this kid like starts getting all these side effects from other pills. And you know, this girl was in a wheelchair
Even though she didn't need to be.
even though she didn't need to be.
Yeah, and one of the doctors did notice, was like, if she had any kind of muscular atrophy,
Them teachers.
if she had any kind of muscular atrophy, then the muscles in her legs wouldn't work anymore. Like, they would be so, I don't know, like, not decayed, but like,
Atrophied.
yeah, and that they wouldn't work, but they did work, and she knew she could walk. She always knew she could walk as a kid, but her mum just told her that she can't, she shouldn't.
The worst thing is that the mum took her out of school in year 2,
Yeah,
and this girl was in a wheelchair for 11 years.
yeah,
She was told to like, she basically isolated, and she couldn't see anyone, couldn't make friends, and she had to be in a wheelchair for 11 years
yeah.
because her mum forced her to.
And I mean, I think, I'm not sure that it covers all of it, but I think it's like stems from fraud. Basically, like the mum wanted sympathy and attention, and then also money, because they got like trips to Disneyland and stuff like that paid for because she was so sick and had all these things supposedly wrong with her. Like they lied about her having leukemia and stuff like that, which is like super hectic and also a bit heavy. Anyway, but because Reagan messaged me the other day and was like, "Oh, have you heard about these things?" He was also talking about shaken baby syndrome, but that's a whole other thing.
That's so weird.
And Munchausen by proxy, and I said, "Oh yeah, like Gypsy Rose," and he had never heard of it. And I've watched like lots of the Dr. Phil stuff on it because he's interviewed her.
Meg's a
times.
Phil fiend.
I love it.
Wait, interviewed her after?
Yeah, like once she was in prison.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phil's hustling.
Sure is. But yeah, I've watched like those and I'd heard about it before because I really like true crime. It's something I really enjoy. Like a lot of the podcasts I listen to are like science based or true crime based usually. And so I'd heard of it and Reagan had never heard of it, and he's the kind of person that's heard about all sorts of random things. So I was like, that's so weird that you'd never heard of it. So
yeah, Twitter helps.
Watched the documentary.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I hate Twitter so much.
No, I don't understand why you hate Twitter. I don't get it.
It just really annoys me, and I don't
Just
enjoy
unfollow
it.
people that you don't want to listen to,
But people like stuff that I don't want to see.
and unfollow them.
No, but like if you like stuff that I don't want to see, I
What
don't
do
want to
I
unfollow
like?
you. I don't know. I don't go on there.
Okay,
But
well,
nothing against it. It's just not a social media for me.
it's definitely better than Facebook. I'm really wanting to cancel Facebook, like, and not use Messenger or anything like that. Especially because I've known for years that they've been very invasive with their recording of what you're doing. I just don't know what I can use instead. So that means if I was to remove Facebook, you have to remove Instagram. You'd have to remove
I love Instagram.
Facebook, Messenger, maybe WhatsApp. I'm not sure if WhatsApp's owned by Facebook.
You don't even have WhatsApp.
I've got WhatsApp.
Who do you talk to on WhatsApp?
Matt messages me
Your
on
other
WhatsApp,
girlfriends?
and then that's where you can use WhatsApp when you're like traveling overseas.
I'm aware of that.
So what should
Wait, and now how many times have you been overseas?
I haven't, but Matt used it. He messaged me and said get WhatsApp, so I got it. Don't grill me for saying I don't. No, I'm talking to my dealer and buying drugs from him.
No, there's apps for that too.
They use WhatsApp, unironically, man.
No, there's another one. It's like Snapchat where like it deletes the. I saw somebody using it. I'm clearly into hard drugs, and yeah, they like send the message and then it disappears.
Yeah,
Like Snapchat, but messages.
yeah. As long as it's not the COVID safe app.
Oh, Reagan.
I'm not going to go into that because that triggers people.
Yes, it does.
It triggers me as equally as much, but yeah,
It's what you have to do when you have an unpopular opinion is filter yourself.
that's right. That's right. You got to filter yourself. But I feel like we should circle back to something that's less topical.
Okay.
And something more that you jazz with. But yeah, I don't want you to treat this like it's an interview. Like it's just a chat with a friend. You know what I mean? Well, you're chatting to you're literally
I've
chatting.
been friend zoned.
You're literally chatting to your boyfriend, soon to be fiance. So
We'll see about that. For
okay,
everyone on stream, you can see the lack of jewellery on my left hand.
do we get it?
Right now?
Yep.
Go on. Go down to
Okay.
crowds.
Hey,
Go down to
no,
crowds.
there's one
get
right
a
there.
Cubics. Okay. Mara said there's an app called blank because I don't want to get demonetized or something. Which is what drug dealers use here. Fun fact. Okay, yeah, right. So like, there's literally an app for everything. I showed my parents.
As long as it's not
just circling back to
apps for pedos.
Yeah, I showed my mum an app because again, going back to YouTube, I posted a video where I was turning into cartoon characters, and Tinkerbell is one of the characters that I did, and she has a fringe, and I obviously don't have a fringe, and so I was like, I'll just use that. Are you okay?
I'm just trying to get less crotch in the camera. Like that's I just realized like you're just using my balls. Got a cross leg like this.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'll just use the app and put the fringe on. And Mum was like, what do you mean? Because my mum's 65.
She's a
62?
boomer.
One of those. Anyway, and
She's
she,
my.
one of 65 or 66, not one of those.
Yeah,
Anyway.
one of those. No, she's
and,
lovely.
And yeah, she was like, what do you mean you can just use an app to give yourself a friend? And I was showing her, and her mind was blown because she was like, what the heck? Because Dad gets all a bit like, there's an app for everything. Like, he tries to show her, because my mum really likes stars and like astronomy, and so he tries to show her like all these apps, and she's like, I really don't give a shit.
But the apps he'd show her would be like janky,
So bad, yeah.
janky, made by like some dude that like was doing his like second year uni assignment. It was like, they're doing like stars,
Yeah, yes,
and it's like unoptimized, hasn't been updated since 2009.
exactly.
And he's like, this is the shit.
Anyway, and then I show Mum apps, and she's like, what the fuck? She's really into Duolingo at the moment. My parents are learning Spanish because they want to go overseas again when everybody can.
Triggered.
And go to Spain. And yeah, they're learning Spanish at the moment, and she's on, I think it's a 58-day streak on Duolingo. I know. Can we get a
Jules.
round of applause for Jules?
Bloody hell, that's pretty good. I tried to do some Japanese, but I would like
One
to go.
time. He printed out the
I was
alphabet.
on like 20 days, man. Leave me alone. Lay off. Like, take it easy. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
No, what was it?
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
If you know, you know. It's a TikTok. If you don't follow our TikTok, follow our at Meaghan Reagan. Oh,
Okay.
I just
At
burped.
Meaghan Reagan was what that was supposed to be.
MEAGHANREAGAN, I think. Or was it
But
Meaghan
no,
and
that's
Reagan?
it. No, it's just Meaghan Reagan. Meaghan
Yeah.
and Reagan was taken.
Yeah, fuck Meaghan and Reagan. Those people are horrible. Fuck you all. And I bet you it's like two blonde American girls like called Meaghan and Reagan. They're like
Meaghan
friends.
and Reagan.
Meaghan and Reagan. It's like, god damn it. There's actually no. I say that because when we wanted to take I think we wanted Meaghan and Reagan, like the letter and. The word
The
and.
letter and.
The letter A, Sesame Street. No, the word and. We wanted that, and there was like two friends. I think one was a brunette, one was a blonde girl. They were like from America.
Okay, we're on
They were like
a random
14.
tangent here, and I don't know what's
No,
going on.
it's like they took that. We wanted that namespace, and they took it.
Oh,
So I looked
and
them
we
up,
didn't
and I
want
was
that
like, "Who?
desperately to pay
Who
them
that?
for it.
Who that? Who you? Get off my
Anyway.
turf, ho!"
Anyway, what were we saying before? I talked about apps.
Your mum is on a streak.
Yeah, she's killing it.
We're talking about fringes.
Oh, Mara says, I showed my aunt who doesn't speak English this app where someone... Sorry, I'm really bad at reading.
It's a Google
Where
Translate.
someone will speak into the phone and will translate into Spanish for her. Oh, that's so cool.
The Google AirPod things do that, so you can literally like
Oh, yeah, I have seen that.
you can have them on your ears, in your ears, and someone can speak like Chinese
No,
or
it's not.
no Mandarin, and then
can
it
hear
will
it in your
translate. It will like
language.
here come through as English. Probably a
That's
bit
so cool.
broken, but
That's really awesome.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Can you imagine? Okay, I'm going to sound a bit weird right now, but can you imagine if, like, even 50, 100 years ago, you told people about the technology that we had available to us, that we mostly took advantage of, whether they would believe us? Like, if you were like, oh, yeah, you can just, like, hold, there's going to be this small little thing that's electronic that you hold in your hand, and you can say something into it and then show it to somebody else, and it will spit out a different language. Like, do you think they'd think we're lying? I think they would. I think they'd be like, bro, are you serious?
Imagine
What
all
have
of
you taken?
hey, imagine so like do you know how there's like jobs now that people like hold down their jobs, even if they know their job's not relevant. Like
Like what?
say if there's a guy in the office that like knows he's not really doing much in the office, and you know his job can be replaced, like he doesn't have to be doing that job, and he like pretends that the job's hard work. And all he does is like updates one spreadsheet a day or something, and then like his job could be replaced with like
A machine. Yeah.
my work, basically. That
Yeah.
we do that stuff.
Mm.
And we just as an FYI, like people, you got to be big courtesy of that, because you don't want you have to be like mindful of that. You don't want someone to lose their job, but it's like you just look at them and go, dude, like there's no point in you doing this specific work. You could have just done something else if you
Yeah.
could. Because the job security and threatening someone's job. Imagine if there was, I'll circle back, but imagine if you're like, there's a thing, a little box that can take you from here to the Americas and back to your like wife's house.
Eh?
Like, and like as
Camera overexposed.
hey, all right, feet not
You've been
walked
called
long
out.
enough. Called out back. And then it's basically like we're talking about GPS here. I'm talking about your phone GPS,
Okay,
right?
I was
your
like,
maps.
what box?
Your maps. So it's
I'm-
like Google Maps, right? Like Google Maps, but then like someone like is threatened by it. It's like, I don't know, William Light or something like that. It was like, no, I refuse to have that thing be here because, you know, it's my job. I want to keep it. So like, you know, they'd throw that tech away because it's trying to keep their job, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Imagine like the dude sailing around the world be like, whoa, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Oh, there's an island over there.
But we wouldn't be able to have the things that exist now if people hadn't done that before,
Yeah, of course.
right? So, like, your job might not be needed. Okay, maybe not your job.
Yeah, but you don't.
But, like, my job might not be needed in the future. Also, maybe not my job. But, like, there might be jobs that seem really relevant now, and, like, the only way to do it is the way we do it now. But
I think accounting is one of them.
Meaghan tired big night last night. Yeah, we actually went and hung out with Reagan's brother and his girlfriend and our niece, and we sat out there till like midnight, and then we came home and watched that documentary.
Oh no, he's saying that because I said no, because
Oh.
he was on the call
I'm
with
just
us. Remember,
innocent.
he was on the call with us, and we were like joking around about stuff. Remember?
Anyway.
Anyway, alright, see ya. Why is he going?
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Love you, miss you.
I forgot what I was saying.
About GPS, about jobs being taken away,
Yeah,
job security.
yeah. Imagine like all the
Well,
cartographers.
everything changes all the time.
Yeah.
Everything is changing. There's professions that used to exist 50 years ago that do not exist today, and it's so stupid. And in 50 years' time, like when we have grandkids,
Like shoe polishers was a job.
yeah, like when we have grandkids, we're gonna be like, wow, back in my day, we had jobs to do this, and they're gonna be like, okay, sure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, life just changes, and it wouldn't be good if it didn't.
I guess like checkout people is an example that shouldn't really exist. Like in a degree, but
I think
it's
you
not.
need to have human interaction to a degree. Like no, but like you can have your self-serve whatever, but you've got to have
Yeah.
a person there to
Yeah,
help you
of course.
with it.
Of course.
You of all people should know that machines don't work the way they're supposed to all the time.
It's only because people set up things where it's like, hey, if you scan an item that's not scannable, then we're gonna break. It's like, how about you don't have that as a setting? How about you turn that setting off? Then you have to have like Karen or Susan come over and like wave the card, type in a code, and like fix it. It's like, can you just not scan the item? Like, why does it have to break if I scan the wrong barcode? Because you know how sometimes items have two barcodes.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like why? You know, it makes me confused. But I think a lot of manual jobs can still be existent. I think.
My jumper is really, really overexposed,
Well,
isn't it?
what am I supposed to do? But yeah. Do you know what's not going to be taken over by computers? Hard stuck.
No, dear.
No, we got to talk about it. No,
Okay,
seriously, got to
okay,
talk about
alright,
it. I need
go
your,
on.
I need your
Okay.
involvement, man. Like, we can't just like, we
I
can't
just
just
got the man.
dude. I shushed her last
Bro.
night. She got so butthurt. I was saying something and then she said something that was kind of correct, but I thought she was talking shit.
No, I
Like,
was just laughing because Reagan was talking about, okay, a sausage factory. Isn't that funny? He was talking about computers and he was like, it's like a sausage factory. And I just thought that was funny. And his brother thought it was funny too. And I was just laughing about it. And he was like, shh, okay, sorry for laughing. Sorry for
it was
enjoying my
rude,
life.
man. It was so bloody rude. And if I talk shit about your job, you're like, okay, bye. No, it's just about integrating like a bunch of Excel spreadsheets because every single person has their own spreadsheet that like somehow plugs into the whole company's system, and it's like all this information's backed off of Karen's spreadsheet. So if Karen leaves,
Yeah.
then we're fucked. So a lot of companies have to like, obviously that's a risk, right? That's a risk to their whether it's analytics or something like that. That's a risk to it. So we try to fix that and make it more automated so that there is some sort of redundancy. So if someone leaves, the whole analytic platform's not gone. So it's like, I was using the analogy of a sausage factory. So like, imagine a bunch of different sources of data.
Funny
like
hearing Reagan
spreadsheets, like CSV files, Excel spreadsheets, tables like database tables. If you like JSON put get commands or something like payloads, like all random different data comes in as like, let's say, different pieces of an animal, different animals. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, imagine like different pieces of it, like, you know, like sausages, made out of random pieces of animal, right? Not ideal, but it goes through, gets like all mashed together, like you see on how it's made. It gets all mashed together, like on how it's made, and then, you know, comes out like a beautiful sausage. But that's essentially like one of our things is integrating all that crap together. Yeah, Jacob, I've got a bunch for you, man. Megs and I still need to have a chat about Hardstuck. You got some chocolate on your jumper that I wish. She does this. She'll get chocolate on it, and I won't say anything because I don't realize until later. And she's like, and then like grabs it, and like, because it's like basically at the point where it's like melted, and it's like just holding its shape. So when you touch, it's like. So she always gets like a smudge of chocolate on her.
I just bit my cheek.
Ow. Spreadsheet me. Spread me. Read between the lines, spread me.
Yeah, anyway. You're making me sound like a little piggy.
Why?
Saying I get chocolate all over myself.
You do. Do you want me to pull up the photo of you in the life jacket?
Oh, okay, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. What do you think I was saying? You went, no.
I'm not a little piggy.
I know you're not. She's been doing a workout. She's finished week 6 of her 8-week workout. I know she's already explained it, but I'm really proud of her.
Ray was on his computer, so he wasn't really listening.
Her butt's plump. It is.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Do I need to lie? It's a peach. I called it a plum and she was mad.
Well, yeah, like, is it bruised? Why is it purple? Is it a white plum? Anyway.
There's white plums.
There's white plums.
I don't know what it is.
They're white on the inside. But they're like yellow. Anyway.
That's an offensive thing that people need to stop doing, and maybe they need to change. It's like when someone's like, oh yeah, white this, and then you eat it and it's like yellow, you're like, that's not white. You're fucking right. You're fucking
like white
wrong.
grapes, they're green.
Yeah.
Sorry.
White grapes are green. That's right.
And red grapes are purple. Blueberries, green.
No, red, like, grapes, like...
Controversial opinions here.
No, when they go like, oh yeah, grape flavour, and it's like purple, and it's like, no, like grapes, like the dark grapes are actually like red. They're not purple.
Okay. I think when you cut them open, they look a bit purple.
I have never got a grape and cut it in half.
What do you mean?
Purple, no. And blueberries, like, what colour are they?
Blueberries.
You know?
If anybody knows that video. That's me.
Like, blue, you know, stop being wrong.
Yeah. Like, don't lie. Don't be a catfish, Reagan.
Want a rock mill?
We recently shaved Reagan's head while we've been in social isolation.
She's got cold hands.
Sorry. Yeah, we recently shaved his head. Looks a bit patchy actually in the camera.
It is, man. I told you,
It's
dude.
not in real life.
Is that like
maybe
right
it's
there?
there.
Is that my like me losing hair or something?
Anyway, and
but in
I
bad
just always
hair?
thought Reagan was blonde because I'm blonde, and when we met, he looked blonde, and then we shaved it off, and it was all in the bath, and it was just like, it was brown. It was dark brown.
Am I looking balding right there? Like, look at the camera.
Yeah, you are. Look that way. Yeah, like it's thin. Thin hair.
Fuck!
Thin hair. But no, but...
Okay,
yeah,
can we stop the
like
podcast?
Reagan's hair's brown, and I just feel like I've been catfished.
Wait, he's going through the same boldness, but he's like 30 now. I'm 21.
Yeah, we're still babies. I can't believe I'm 21.
She got a haircut. How nice.
I went back to my old length, and I'm so happy. I love my hairdresser, and I love this length. That's the end of the story.
Yeah.
Got a nice fresh toner, so it looks nice and creamy again. Anyway.
Creamy.
Yeah, there's creamy blonde. There's ashy blonde, creamy blonde, golden blonde, like honey blonde. There's all sorts of blonde. You would never know. Anyway.
That hurts. Cream eggs, though.
Oh.
They are not where it's at.
I can't.
Look, I think I appreciate Cadbury in forms. Like, the stuff they make is good.
Cadbury chocolate is good.
But if we were to get sponsored by Cadbury in this Hardstock mansion, and they said, but you got to help us launch this new cream egg.
No.
I'd say...
Unless it's nothing like the old cream egg, count me out.
If it's, like, delicious, then yeah. But
like, what could you put in the cream egg that would make it still a cream egg, but not disgusting like it is?
Yeah,
It's just sugar. It's just glucose syrup.
I know it's just glucose syrup, but
Which
I kind of get
foul.
offended. Like, do you know the things where you like have something and like goo just comes out? You're like, there shouldn't be a mixture between like solid and gloop. That shouldn't be a thing, right?
No, you know what? Turkish delight eggs are good.
What?
The Turkish delight eggs.
Oh, that's right. You had them without
love
me. I remember now. No, we bought some and then makes like psyched.
No. That was different. That was just normal Cadbury eggs.
When do you have Turkish delight egg?
Steggles gave me a basket of eggs for Easter like 2 years ago, and we had to go back. That's a whole other story. So I used to work at a pub, and we were leaving after Easter, and one of the chefs had brought in little like baskets for us all to have, but filled with like Easter eggs and chocolates and stuff. And
that's fucking bad, man.
we closed at like 3 a.m. and we were leaving, and then we were in the car park, and I was like, oh fuck, like we forgot our eggs. And then the manager at the time, because this is when I'd like just started my job, and he was like, no, it's fine, we'll just go back in. And I was like, oh, but you've just turned the alarm on, like it's all gonna be hard work. Anyway, so he went through the back door and like unlocked it and everything, and then it was fine. And we were just like walking through, me and my other friend, and we were like, hey, this is fun, like let's go get a chocolate. And then all of a sudden the alarm starts going off because we've come in through the back door and not through the front door to turn the alarm off, because my manager thought that he could go through quick enough to turn the alarm off. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, we're in this pub, and the alarm's just like, wee, and we're like, oh my god, we've just broken back into our own workplace to get fucking chocolate eggs.
Dude, that's dedication.
Anyway, and then we did, and we got it. I had some good times closing that pub, especially when I wasn't the manager. When I was the manager, that was a whole other story.
Yeah, I think being a manager, you gotta have some good understaff. I think that's what makes a difference.
You gotta enjoy it.
Yeah, whereas like being an understaff,
understaff,
you gotta have a good manager, but it's kind of less stressful, right?
Yes, because you have a way. You just get told what to do and then you do it.
Yeah.
And as the manager, it's like you're responsible for everything. Like I got in trouble for
you got to actually think.
But yeah, like I had some real shit understaff for a little while, and I used to hate it because like obviously you're giving up what 8, 10, 12 hours of your time. Yes, okay, you're getting paid, but to be with these people that maybe you don't even like for a period that I really didn't like them. And there were only like 2 or 3 people that I did want to hang out with at work. and then like you're with them until like 3 o'clock in the morning. So when you finish work, you can't even, like I can't even message Reagan and be like, oh hey, like just finished work, haha. Like most of the time, I'll be honest, he was still awake. But
okay, I'll take that advice. Thanks, Crush.
Okay. Like so most of the time you would still be awake, but like more often than not, it's the middle of the night. You can't talk to anybody once you finished work. Anyway, so then I got some really good understaff, and then I left because it was time to go. Yeah. But I love those girls that I worked with right at the end there, and I miss them, and we still send TikToks to each other, and I love it. Yeah. they're both like 18, 19, and I love it.
We were talking about like 20 people our age to like 30 that like tip their noses at like TikTok and all the cool young stuff. It's like
we had a guy that did a trial shift, and he came in, and we were laughing. We were like making jokes about TikToks and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he would have been maybe 1 or 2 years older than me, and he also had a lot of. I mean, I know you don't understand everybody's work history and why they've perhaps moved from job to job, but he had a lot of jobs within the last 2 years and like random gaps and stuff. And I was just like, that's a bit sus. Like, I want to know why you've worked at so many places. Anyway, and we were making jokes and we were just laughing and stuff.
Can you get a link?
What?
Oh, there's the link to the brush, the wooden brush.
Oh, okay. Anyway, and we were just laughing and making jokes and stuff. And then he was like, what are you laughing about? And we were like, oh, haha, like it's just a TikTok. And he was like, oh, you guys are on TikTok. And we were all like, okay, you don't get the job. Thank you very much and good night. And then he didn't get the job, and then he did get the job, and then he didn't take it. And it was a whole complicated thing. But anyway, we were talking about it last night. The people, probably like 24, 25-ish.
To like 30, I reckon.
Yeah, who just think they're above all this new stuff that's coming out, new technology.
It's like you losers were on MySpace, friending people and like making friend groups and, you know, follow me, haha.
And it's fine to not know about stuff, but like you
make it your mission to not know. It's like, you're a fucking loser. Like
one of my best friends, she's 27.
Yeah.
And she does not have any fucking clue how TikTok works. But she's like, yeah, I'll get around it. Like, let's do it. And she, like, I send her the stuff that I make. And she's like, that's so cool. Like, stuff like that. It's just, she wants to be involved. And she's not like, oh, no, I don't know how that works. Like, she makes an effort.
Yeah. People that age are kind of, they throw me, though. Like, a lot of them, like, are fake. Because it's like, I don't know how technology works. Like, unlike the kids of new generation, I wasn't grown up with it. You're like, what? And
then they make jokes about us not knowing what floppy disks are, and you're like, okay.
Sure,
like,
Stephanie.
Why does it matter? Yeah. Anyway.
It's I'm not saying everyone that age, but I've come across a lot of people that are like that. And it's like, what? You were like in primary school, and I went to primary school with you. What do you mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
You're in the same age. Like, what?
Yeah.
So, you know, you maybe had to deal with like you didn't get to bring a laptop to school or something like that, but it doesn't make a difference of like knowing how things work, or just pretending, like not trying. It's like,
I was the second year to get laptops for school at my school. So like we had a thing where it was like from year 8 you had to buy a laptop through the school, and everybody was expected to have a laptop, and you went all the way through year 12 with the same laptop. And we were the second year that went through with it. And, like, the people that were in year 12 when I was in year 8, yes, okay, it's a different experience. But, like, it's not that different. And, okay, they're pivotal years in your life. But it's not as if you're totally unfamiliar with what's going on in the world. Yeah,
and that's the reason why I call these people out. It's because they're faking. Because I know other people of the same age that are with it.
Yeah.
Like, you got someone that's, like, 20, 25... And, like, he is a great guy, like Nathan, because he's a great guy. He doesn't, like, pretend that he's, like, too old to be stupid. You know?
Sometimes he's got no fucking clue.
But it's, like, sometimes you don't know. But it's, like, that's the funny thing about generation. A little bit, like, a minor gap between ages. But it's, like, there's no reason why your, like, age all 4 years different should change how you talk to people, but looking down or up on people, you know what I mean? Like, right now, I'm with people that are 30, 40, they use computers all day, every day. So that's like, and some played MySpace, some played RuneScape, some like were with it, some still play games on the computers, some are starting families.
To be fair,
no, these aren't.
Some do both.
Some do both, Matt. So yeah, I think the whole, especially if you are on MySpace. If you're on MySpace, don't pretend you don't know what technology is. Technology is for kids.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's just that that's a really hard, because like this Vince, is a debate that you have all the time.
Good example.
Is like dividing generations is really difficult.
Yeah.
And especially us, like being, we're technically Gen Z, right?
I had no clue.
But-
They've changed it. It's like millennial,
but
Gen Z.
I feel like often we do fall into the cusper part where it's like you relate to some stuff that millennials relate to, but some stuff that Gen Z relates to,
Especially
and
if
some
you've got older
things we don't
siblings.
get, like because that we're then considered the same age as your younger brother who's in year 12 at the moment. And there's some stuff that, like, yeah, we do get along and we could talk about stuff and he would get it. But there's some stuff that he would talk about and we'd be like, wait, what?
No.
Like when we used to, no, but like when we went up to the river that time and he was like, yeah, like I'm chatting to this girl on Instagram. And we were like, chatting on Instagram? Like, that's weird. But, and there's just little stuff like that where you're like, oh no, that's not my generation. I was around when Snapchat was first released and we first got Snapchats and everyone had dumb names and stuff like that. But then you're also like we are on TikTok and we do stuff like that. So you're somewhere in between. Like you relate to some stuff that the younger people do and some stuff that the older people do.
Yeah.
But technically we are Gen Z. But I was saying, just to briefly touch on it and then we will move on swiftly, but I feel like what's happening in the world at the moment is going to be a really good way to define generations, the way that you're affected by this crisis.
Yeah.
Because that's how it is. It's like baby boomers. They're defined because they were all the babies from after the war, right? And then like all the different generations get defined where there was a big global event or something that happened that separates them. And I think for us, our generation will now be cut off on the lower end, probably, between people who were in the workforce or were in school and were able to comprehend and understand and see what was happening and feel the effects firsthand. And then it'll be separated then to the people that don't, like they're just dealing with stuff that their mum and dad have to deal with. So they go home and their mum and dad are having the problems, but they're just like going with it, if that makes sense. Like
I
12,
do feel
maybe bad. So our age, I think the technical cutoff for millennials are, I think 24, 23, 24 now, age. And then I think the lower end is probably 12 or 13, which is only 10 years. And that's not really long enough for a generation. But I think
that's fair.
Or they might shift that barrier for millennials, because that is a very big bracket there. Because, yeah, people that are 25-ish are, like, they're in the workforce, they're understanding, and they're in,
Thanks,
and they're feeling all
like
of the
you.
pressure. They're feeling all the pressure, whether it be economic, financial pressure, or like emotional, mental pressure from this crisis. And we're feeling it because we're going into the workforce for the first time, and people that are in like uni for the first time, they're feeling it because it's like they might be out of home, they might not be out of home, but they're old enough to what?
People born in 2007 or 13.
Eesh.
Yeah.
We'll move on. But yeah, like being old enough to comprehend and understand the severity and the extremity of the situation, I think, is what's going to define this generation.
Yeah.
And will probably shape our attitudes. And of course, like culturally, that's a different thing too, because our attitude here, we're very, very fortunate at the moment. Like for us, we're recording this on the 9th of May, and as of the 11th of May, we're allowed to go back out to cafes and restaurants and dine outside and things like that. Like we're
Happy birthday, Synchro.
But like we're allowed to go out and do stuff. Like I could go and get my hair cut, no worries, and we can go to the supermarkets and stuff like that, because we have not been hard hit at all by this. But I think it is going to shape our perspective, because like, yeah, you've been working at home for almost 2 months now, and I've lost my job technically, which I might be going back now on Monday, and I've only been out of work for a couple months. Like that's not much at all.
I do feel sorry for probably the people that are like 23, 24 down to 15, 16. Like you said last night, we had a conversation about this. I think we are most affected. Okay, Reagan. It's like we've had a lot of stuff, I guess, that have like kind of put a stick in, like
Spanner in the works.
Spanner in the works.
Yeah.
Whereas people above us have like they've probably secured a house. They've probably secured a job. They've done a few years in their workforce.
Yeah.
Whereas like I literally started my job February 2nd.
Yeah.
Like this shit was happening as I started my job. So my whole job has been like thrown, like literally shaken.
Yeah, it feels often to us like you get given an opportunity and then it gets ripped out or it gets folded or changed or
It has happened like for a while.
Yeah, like I don't know. 2016 was a wild year. That was the year that we finished school, and it was just like I don't know. It was just
And
everything gets a bit topsy turvy for us, and
and the years
not that
above
we're
us are
complaining
like
because we absolutely understand how much privilege we have to
yeah,
live where we
it's
do
a
and to
huge
to
amount
do
of
what we
privilege.
do.
That is like let's underline that. But I feel like everyone above us is like happy days, no worries, guys. Like everything was good. But then,
yeah, like they've had
then
the
it comes to
opportunity
us.
to do the 1 year contract and get signed in. Whereas like now, I mean, I'm still studying at the moment, but it's like I don't know if I'm like I'm definitely going to get a job because of the field I'm in, but that has become a whole lot more questionable now.
Yeah.
What my job will look like.
Like Max
as
might
an
not be out of
environmental
job
health
for the rest
officer.
of this year
Yeah.
because he's my age. He just came out of uni. Like we didn't get a uni graduation. I know some people don't care, but it's like it's important to me.
It's a rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage, right? My brother didn't get to do his graduation once again. First world problems, but like.
Who?
Not graduation, like formal and stuff.
Yeah. So his younger brother won't have formal. He can't get his license, like
his driver's
license.
license. He's year 12. Like it's not the most important year of your life, but
No,
people
but
make it.
it is important.
It's important, right?
It absolutely is.
And it does define, will shape what you can and can't do in terms of like I guess that it's the thing that sets the bar, right? So it sucks that that's happened to us and them, and I can't say we have shielded. I guess what I'm saying is a lot of people of that age that around my life I've been shielded that are above that age have been shielded from it, but obviously there's a lot of people that have lost jobs, lost lives, so I guess we're very lucky and we are shielded from that, but yeah,
you still feel it. It's like a butterfly effect.
Hit you in the jimmies if please. I hope people know that. Hit you in the jimmies.
I know what it means, but I don't know where it's from.
To me, as an essential worker and an introvert, it doesn't change so much for me. I feel like for people who are relying on income from rent and is a huge extrovert, it's harder for them.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. And the same thing with me. Like I just think it's a normal day at playing on the computer, but I'm working, right?
Reagan's an extrovert, I think, but he doesn't mind being alone. Like the way that I technically qualify you as introvert or extrovert is how you recharge as a person. In quotes, it's like when you are exhausted, are you better off being alone? Does that make you feel better as to be alone, to do your own thing, to be in your own space, and then that recharges you? Or is it having social interaction and being around people? And I think I'm half, really. I am quite introverted because I'm... You want to think about it? I got fruit in them.
Oh, people that prefer like chocolate hot cross buns than like normal sultana ones.
So deer is ambivalent? Is that what that says? Something?
Ambiverted?
Sure. Yeah. But I reckon Reagan can cope being at home. He could be at home for days on end and he would not mind. But I also think that's because he does have that social interaction with you guys through gaming and through like I have my coping.
Gaming
so
helped
I've
me
just
live.
recently
That helped me survive shitty childhood.
Yeah. But I've just recently started joining in on all your Discord calls. Hope you don't mind. Love you guys.
You say it.
What?
Say it, and then honestly, what I was gonna say.
Okay. And that has been a really good coping mechanism for me because I do thrive off of social interaction and conversation with people. I like my alone time, don't get me wrong, but I have to go out. I have to do things. I can't... Reagan knows I go stir crazy when I stay at home for like a day. If I'm at home all day on my own and I haven't gone out all day, I go mental. Like even this morning I was getting shitty because we hadn't gone out yet. because I always start my day with a walk, and I didn't today because we woke up late.
Cranky.
And yeah, and I get like that, and that's just, I don't know that that's really extrovert because it doesn't always rely on people. What?
I just feel fat. Blah, 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 blah.
Slug. Feed her, dear.
No.
It's like, it's my finger bun. That
It
one?
does. Feeding women help.
That helps. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Yes, but yeah, to be fair, we hadn't eaten. It was midday.
Carry on. Don't mind me.
Hangry. No, but I just get, every single morning I wake up at maybe 8:30, and I go for a walk with my mum. I walk 3.5-4 k's with my mum and my dog, and then I come home, and now that I'm doing this 8-week challenge, I do exercise, and then I start my day. And today it was different, and I get real antsy when I can't get out of the house. I need to go and do something. I get real shitty, and Reagan's like, sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like, he gets so frustrated with me. But I think for the most part I am an extrovert, but I'm just a shy person.
What is
It's like half-half.
ambiverted?
Yeah, I talk to customers. Oh, I miss talking to customers. If I'm totally honest, because I work in a cafe now. Well, semi. And I really... Are you okay, Reagan? He's just checking his hair out in the mirror.
My bald patch. In bald patch.
And just, yeah, it doesn't drive me crazy. I'm happy. Yes, yeah. So I love talking to customers. I really enjoy that social interaction with them. I used to really like it at the pub because, well, my pub wasn't very busy at all. So you could just chat shit, especially with the regulars. Like, there were a couple regulars that I really loved, and then one of them moved back to England. Oh, so sad. Anyway, and he came back and he surprised us after a soccer game. It was so cute. He was like, "Hey, I'm back, bitches," and we were like, "Oh my god!" And then we all went and got him his drink, and he was like, "I can't pay for all these." We're like, "It's fine, have them all." Anyway, but yeah, I miss that interaction, and I left my job and I didn't work for a month, and I really missed it.
She was gonna stream, but she didn't.
I'm not gonna stream in my house.
My house, silly.
I'm not gonna stream in your house.
But in my house.
Yeah. No, but it's like I can't. What does it say? I'm self-verted. Oh.
What does ambiverted mean? Like
Both introvert and extrovert.
hot diggity dog.
Why
Jacob's
did you not get that explanation the last 3 times I said it?
Because Jacob didn't explain it.
Okay. You hacker, dear. What the fuck?
What?
Why are you a hacker?
What?
Is it good with the fruit?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Didn't mean to
What?
offend you.
Yeah, you upset me. Oh, is this the TikTok that we made?
What you say?
What do you say, you mean little? So does that mean like you get recharged from both? Okay, my mirror. Sorry to distract. My mirror makes my face look squished. Hello. It's like a Snapchat filter. Is that you get recharged from both interaction and
Yeah.
hot diggity dog?
So like, when you're exhausted, do you want to be on your own, or do you want to just like hang out with your friends?
I don't try it, baby.
No, but it's like when you're like, I've had a fucking hard day. This has been fucked. Like 50% of the time you'll be like, everyone fuck off, let me do my thing. And 50% of the time you're like, I just want to get on the games and talk to the boys. Da boys. You know? Get recharged when Is it a knife? Is that what it says?
Mm-hmm. PowerPoint socket.
I know. Sorry, everyone. Taking a finger bun break.
They're good. I like it. Sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry to those that are listening to this.
No one's going to download this. I just know it.
My man. If all you guys don't download it, you don't invite it to my funeral.
Forget the wedding.
Yep. I made this, by the way. Guys that aren't can't. Sorry, Megs. Let me get into the semantics of it all. Megs and myself made this together with, I believe, material that I purchased from Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you do a reef knot on every single. So you cut like 1 centimeter holes by like 2 centimeter long, and you cut them along both sides, exactly the same length and width of the material. You then fold them to a reef knot. So you tie it one direction, one like simple knot in one direction,
right,
and then you tie a second one in the opposite direction, and it doesn't come undone. The reason is the material becomes thicker, and also there's some sort of like layer of air between the two materials that provides a set of insulation of draft and also just air, because air is one of the best insulators out there, in case you did not know. So, and I've used this all the time, and it's great, and it's like it's a good thing to have.
Reagan has a really shit mattress, and we used to use it to put underneath so that we could sleep on it and not have springs poke me in the back.
I put this on the record up until right now, and including tonight, and then probably until June 8th. Hopefully, I'm sleeping on a bunk bed, top bunk bed, which means the top bunk bed can't be that heavy because the top bunk bed needs to be light. Otherwise, the top bunk bed will fall on the other one. So I've got a shitty, springy, thin mattress that's like lightweight. It's got a spring in the back. So Meg's bought me a bamboo sort of like
Mattress
topper.
protector.
And yeah, it helps, but still, the bed's shit.
It's so much better.
Yeah, it is.
I bet if you took that off, you would have a shit time.
Yeah. But yeah, this thing helps. I put the blanket on, and you think, oh, the blanket wouldn't be that cold, but you know, my room's bloody cold as. And this literally like insulates and keeps it so warm when you put it on top. I don't know why. It's like what, but I guess it's 3 layers of air, guys. It's got this layer. We've got 1 layer here between this blanket and the other blanket, and then the blanket and myself, and it's warm. Oh, this hurts, man. Like, imagine doing like a relaxing podcast. Like, I like
What is happening?
Anthony Schultz. Here they have like 2 swivel chairs, like your mum's like Herman chair, whatever. It's the expensive one that's like $3,000.
Shit right to here. Is that what it says?
I'm wearing a
sit next to her.
mankini to your ceremony.
How did I read that as shit right to here?
Sit next to her. Get a tighter shot on image.
Yeah, I'm so far. I've like moved out of the way. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's do that. That's cute.
My back is broken. I'm gonna talk to you like this. Hi, Mag. What? I'm just talking to you. It's a problem.
What does IMAG mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of good stories because I just recently, not spooning.
I was gonna cuddle.
Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Head to toes, like in the bed when you like share like a bed with your friend. No homo. Share a bed with your friend, and then you go head to toe. Did Jacob and I go head to toe? I think we were heads, both sides. We shared a couch together. No, was it a couch? No.
This was at PAX for everybody listening.
We didn't share the couch. I slept on the floor. It was a very small couch.
Okay.
It was a couch bed thing.
A futon, some might say.
Yeah.
I just recently listened to episode 8 with Keegan and Mitchell and Mira.
That's so successful. It doesn't make sense to me.
And it was so much fun, and everybody had so many fun stories. I just feel like my life is not that fun. I don't have that many fun stories to share.
Well, the idea is, my ultimate idea is to do one of these every week or every second week. But I just need to do it, right? Like, we go back to that ball rolling issue. It's like, I just need to set goals, implement them, and do them, and have people accountable on me to do it. We still need to have the conversation with Jacob so we can organise that. Mm-hmm. And get the ball rolling for Hardstuck. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to record the intro that you made. The intro that you thought about, came up with.
yeah.
We
That
can't
was so
say
much
it.
fun. That was such a good idea.
That's gonna be so much fun. We just need to buy a green screen.
yeah.
I think that's it. But
I think that's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most in us moving out is like, yeah, we get to have our own space, but I'm so excited for us to
did
have.
I?
What?
I don't know if I slept next to Jacob or slept on the floor.
Anyway, I'm excited for us to have our own space where we can have this, or like your streaming room. First of all, with your LED lights your dad was playing with the other week.
Fucking Kyle. Batman.
But like for us to have a space where everything's set up, all the lights are already set up, the
Yeah.
tripods are there, they're ready to go. We can just, when we have ideas to create stuff, we can just do them. Because I did my cartoon, going back to that video that I just recently uploaded, my cartoon video, that took me 2.5 weeks to film.
Yeah.
I did the looks on 3 separate days because I wasn't going to do them all in one day because my skin can't handle that. But that took me 2.5 weeks to organize and to do, because I had to find the time and find the space. Sorry, pardon me.
In between, your parents being home and stuff,
my parents are home all the time. They were anyway, because my mum's retired. But like my dad comes home all the time, and spooned in the bath.
There wasn't a bathtub, so I don't know. There wasn't a bathtub, so what bath?
Anyway, and so like just finding time between, not, I don't know that my parents really know that I do YouTube. Anyway, not that I'm embarrassed about it or anything like that, but like I don't want to sit out there and have my parents listen to me do stuff, or like
Imagine your parents witnessing you do TikToks.
like
That's a thing between like us
Yeah.
and younger kids, is they just do TikToks in front of their parents. I'm like,
I would never.
I would never.
Never ever. But like because when Reagan and I started
I get
YouTube,
made fun of
it was
running.
doing my baking videos on Bake Me Happy. Love
Yes.
that. And my dad used to be there when we were filming, because we'd obviously have to film after school or on the weekends. And he always had something to say about it. Let's just put it like that. And like Reagan was trying to film, and I was not a very pleasant person back then. Like I'm really ashamed of who I used to be. But like he used to always chime in and be like, you should do it like this, you should do that instead. And I could not have that. So I'm really excited for us to have our own space. And also when I was filming that video, I do the look and I'm there ready to like take photos of it and take all the footage to put in the video, and all of a sudden it's like, oh okay, I'm doing this on my own. And I know plenty of YouTubers do it on their own, but like it's so hard to set up a tripod. I can't even get like the phone mount, it couldn't sit on the tripod. I had to like balance it across things. I had to use the Manfrotto tripod and like balance it in the tree and stuff like that, and that was just really frustrating, really hard.
I got a Gorilla Grip one too. Where is that?
Where is that?
That was an expensive purchase too.
Yes, it was. Anyway, and that's really hard too, and I was getting really
Where the fuck is it?
frustrated with Reagan, because I was just like, why? Like, I just want someone to be here to help me. And even if you were still going to work, and like you were allowed to go to the office, you would be home at 5:30, 6 o'clock and be able to help me do that stuff.
Yeah.
When I wanted to do it, because we'd have the lighting set up and we would have places in our house. Like I could go in the lounge room, or I could go in the kitchen or whatever and take the shots. Anyway, like it just, that's what I'm really looking forward to, is us having space to be creative and to do the things we want to do, because I really, really love cooking, and I love baking, but I love cooking more now. I think I've transitioned into, especially because like Reagan doesn't really eat much of my baked stuff. Like he does, but, and I'm not, I used to have a really, really sweet tooth, and now it's kind of gone. But I want to film cooking videos. Like I want us to be able to film, like live stream us cooking dinner together.
That'd
and
be
stuff
so
like
fun
that.
doing that stuff.
Because I feel like that's what makes things successful, is having a personality behind it, and you feel like you're involved in that person's life. It's like, that's why I enjoy going on these Discord calls. I've never met any of you guys on the Discord call in real life ever. Only Reagan, and I still feel like I know you, and I feel like you're my friends, because we just do regular mundane things together. I sit there and I literally do my colouring in on my iPad.
Yeah.
While you guys play games, and that's how you form those kind of connections. And if you want to do content creation, you have to do things that are not just premeditated and planned out and whatever. You should do things that are like personal.
Yeah,
because that's what
and I guess
makes
also
people
interesting too.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. Like I've been saying to the guys is that the hard stuck thing is the reason why I think it would be good, even if like we sort of did mundane things, is because we were a group. And you kind of want to be involved with someone's life, right? And I think it's easier when you have you're observing a group of people and you're watching a group of people do stuff, because you'd be like, oh, like I might not like deer, which probably be the most common thing, but I fucking love Bacon because he's a
Yeah.
macho man with curly hair, and he's really nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna make it more interesting for a lot of people.
It's like Friends. I've started rewatching Friends lately,
But
and
people
I
hate Ross.
fucking hate Ross.
Yeah.
I hate him so much, but I watch it because I enjoy the other characters.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly it, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's how
everyone
it works.
hates Ross, but I just wish I'm not Ross. Please don't let me be Ross, guys.
You don't do the fucking. Oh, I hate it when he does that.
Oh.
When Ross gets angry, he does this thing, and I hate it. It makes me so mad. It really gets on my nerves.
Yeah, so like as long as I'm not
Anyway.
Ross, you know what I mean. But that's it, right? Like everyone's got their favorite friend. Everyone like watches it because they enjoy like the balance and the harmony of each character.
Yeah.
And you might, like everyone's got their own thing. So I think everyone's got their own thing. They've got their own interest, and they can do they still do their own stuff. But when it comes together, it's like
Yeah.
it is more interesting to watch. That's why this is a community, right? It's not like just this
Yes,
person's a streamer and these people
Yeah.
watch him. It's like part of a community.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's hopefully we get Hard Stuck started. We've had it started in air quotes. We've been doing it for a while, but we just have never got to the point of actually bootstrapping it and like to start, right? But like we kind of if you think about the old propellers of
It's
old
hard
propeller.
to organize a routine when everybody's so separated, though. I
Yeah,
guess that's the
that's
thing
right.
You've got to remember. And what I'm hoping is that once we're in our own place, we have our routine. We know what we do all the time. You're not ever on edge about what am I doing that night? Where am I supposed to be? Like, is Meek going to want to hang out with me? Because we've already organized that. And so you can be like, yeah, guys, I am free on Thursday night. Like, let's do something. And you can organize things like that when you've got your own routine. Whereas at the moment, you don't have a routine.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right.
You're just living hour by hour, basically,
Mm-hmm.
which really frustrates me, but that's fine.
Sorry,
That was a sincere apology.
I am. just it's hard, man. It's hard. Like staying on a computer is just the only thing that's helping me just get through. Like, what else am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Can't
We're
go
killing
outside to
time.
get arrested.
You cannot. Yeah.
Here, I
Yeah.
like that. Everywhere else, yes.
You might be able to, but here it's no.
Yeah.
But I think
Otherwise, it'd be on my phone, on my bed, like
Yeah.
on the couch. It's just need to be glued to something right now because that's the only thing
yeah.
keeping me together. Travis Scotting me, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's otherwise not much to look forward to.
Yeah, we're basically just killing time for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that's
Really.
kind of what
Which
I want to
sucks.
prevent. Like I want people to work towards something because I don't want just killing time. Like
Yeah.
I want to be productive, and I feel like the last 3 nights I haven't played. I played like maybe 1-2 hours of games, of like since like last Friday. Maybe
Yeah.
more. Maybe let's say
Maybe
4.
more.
But like compared to every night, doing 3-4 hours of gaming. I played 2 games of COD last night.
To be fair,
None the night
some
before.
of the reason that you did not play games is because you were downloading a game.
Yeah, you're right, but
But it inspired you to do other stuff.
yeah, but I did do other stuff, and I wrote up heaps of templates, and I wrote
Mhm.
up documents and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
that we can have a conversation. Jake and Meaghan and I can have a conversation, get that like pre-implementation started, and then we have another meeting whenever, and we can actually implement something, implement goals, routines, implementation tasks, get the stuff going. I know Meaghan did like a ... like as I said that, like shut up.
Sorry, no. I was trying to figure out if it was raining.
Yeah. But that's what I'm really looking forward to is
Yeah.
starting that.
You know what we need to do?
What?
We, first of all, have to buy a bunch of boxes to pack up our stuff in and more vacuum bags. I'm so pleased I found more vacuum bags. Anyway, and we also need to. I reckon we need to buy a big whiteboard to have in our house.
Yeah.
From Officeworks, because we've got yours and you use yours.
Do you hear Mitchell? He's like, nah, fucking, I'll make one for you.
A whiteboard?
Yeah. They're like $300, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
You fine with that?
Because
I am.
Reagan and I have very different opinions on how much money we should spend on things.
Yeah, but like those are things like you're not gonna, like, after 20 years you're probably gonna still have that whiteboard, right?
Yes, yeah, no, I agree. But like I just think we should. There you go. There is in rank. But I'm
Those
gonna get
whiteboard
markers for you know what I'm gonna do, because we got a fridge. We're really lucky. We bought our dining table and chairs new. For pretty cheap, really. But we were really lucky because one of my friends, the same manager that went into the hotel and set the alarm off, I love him so much. He just had a baby, and I can't wait to squish it because it looks so cute. Anyway, it's fine. Everyone's having babies. And he was moving out, and he had a whole bunch of housemates, and they had heaps of extra like appliances and furniture and stuff like that, and he knew that Reagan and I were planning to move out back then, and he's a really, really great guy, and he's really considerate, and he was like, yeah, like if you guys want it, come grab it. And I was like, okay, how much do you want for it? And he was like, no, like you don't have to pay for it. And so I was like, no, we should pay for these things, like somebody paid for them at some point, and like you're doing us a favor. So we ended up getting him a case of beer for a fridge and a washing machine, like a basically brand new, hardly ever been used washing machine. I'm so excited to use it. It looks so nice. Anyway, but the fridge isn't anything fancy. It's just a fridge, and it's one of those like the top's a fridge, and then the bottom drawers are free. Like you open the door and the drawers are freezers. Like it's tiny, but there's only two of us. Like how much are we really gonna? Anyway, beside the point. What I'm trying to say is this fridge is kind of average, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to like tape it around the edges or like decorate it a little bit, and then use whiteboard markers to write on it, because it's made out of like whiteboardy stuff, and we can use that as a whiteboard for like if we need to buy more things, you can write it on the fridge, and then that's like so you're about to leave for work and I'm still asleep, or I'm out on my walk and you're like, fuck, we need more butter. You can write on the fridge that we need more butter, and then it's there, it's ready to go. Anyway, but that's what I want to do until we buy a nicer fridge. But why would we need to buy a nicer fridge if this one still works?
Well, when we move into the Hardstock mansion,
okay, Reagan, let's just reel it in.
It might be in like 3 years' time, 4 years' time.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe 1, 2.
Yeah, that's fine. But right at the moment.
No, but that's going to be awesome. And that's a good trial. I mean, you might rent the stuff or something like that, because you can rent like appliances and stuff.
Yeah, no.
Which in this use case, it would actually make sense, because whatever it costs you divide it by whatever amount.
Yeah.
And you're not wasting it, because it's not going to be like, hey, this is...
Yeah.
Or whatever. Then you can get the nice stuff, and then you can go, that was worth it, that's not worth it, that was worth it, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the thing, is we've got a shitty little fridge, and it's going to work, and then we can decide, do we really need more fridge space, or do we need more freezer space, or whatever, and we can make those decisions.
Yeah.
And like, Mum, we've got a dryer that Mum found on the side of the road. It's probably not going to be very energy efficient.
Excuse me?
We might end up with the old dryer, because my parents just got a new one from their friends anyway. But
what, dryer on the side of the road?
yeah, Mum found a dryer on the side of the road.
Where is it?
In the shed.
Doing?
Stacked on top of the washing machine, ready for us to take, in case we need a dryer. It works.
What about the other one?
I don't know if Erica's going to have that, or if we're going to have it.
Which one?
Anyway. Sorry?
Which dryer? Which dryer?
The dryer that we used to have in the laundry.
Yeah.
I don't know if Erica's taking that one or if I'm having it.
Why is she entitled to it?
Because she doesn't have a dryer. Reagan's butthurt.
Okay.
We probably won't need a dryer. She needs a dryer more than us. She lives in Victoria.
Well, is it because your power's cheaper? Is you better than me?
Anyway.
When is Clash, Blake? When is Clash? Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Well, yeah, we still got time, dude.
Anyway, so what is it, 5 o'clock? Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, and like we've got a whole bunch of appliances. For my birthday, my parents bought me an outdoor setting. I know, from Audi, so it's not like bougie or anything. But yeah, stuff like that. And we've got those things, and we can decide. Like, I think we're going to need a bigger outdoor setting eventually, because this one's only got 4 chairs, and we have more than 4 friends that we invite around all the time.
Speak for yourself, mate.
Okay. But like my group of uni friends are what, 10, 12 of us? Yeah.
Am I dyslexic?
Yeah. Well, like.
Yeah, I guess they're ones that don't come often.
Yeah, 12.
Okay.
I reckon.
Okay. Good on you. Good on
They're
you.
your friends too. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
But yeah, like we've got more than that, so we're going to need more chairs or more space for table. But that's fine. You make do.
Yeah.
And I mean, Reagan feels very strongly about not eating outside, but I like eating outside.
I fucking hate eating outside.
I know, but I like eating outside. So if we've got a table that's set up out there, and in the warmer months, I'm going to be able to sit outside and eat.
Airborne grass, pollen.
Anyway,
my table
Reagan, yeah,
has,
I know.
Like,
I
imagine
know.
like a layer of dust, and you like put your finger across it, and like it leaves
you can
your
see
finger
where your
mark.
finger's gone.
There's that, but pollen. And
Anyway.
unlike dust, when you do that with pollen, shit happens. Nothing happens. So,
But yeah, so
yeah, but
I like sitting outside. So just having a small one will be all right, because then I can sit out there.
yeah, exactly. That's right.
But yeah, that's the thing, is we are yet to get a dear Suki.
We had to get what?
We're yet to get a couch.
Yeah.
Which everybody on the Discord calls knows, because every time Reagan's like, we should buy this, we should get this, and I'm like, Reagan, how about we get a couch? Anyway. Okay, you crow.
Me sucky about that. My TikTok that took me 2 seconds to make. Got more views than her.
Watch out, there's pollen behind you.
Oh, far out, mate. No.
Anyway,
Leave me alone.
but we're yet to get a couch and like a TV or entertainment unit or anything like that. But we're gonna roll with the punches and decide when we need to do that and whether that's necessary.
Yeah, because people have been telling me, people that are trivial, are like, yeah, you need a TV. You can't move out without a TV. It's like, who said you need a TV to move out? Like, what?
Yeah, we don't watch a lot of TV.
Like, why do you need a TV? I haven't got I mean, I'm using a TV right now, granted, but like, aside for this, I'd never use a TV. It's always like my phone, my computer, my laptop, my whatever, right? So a TV's not a priority on the list of things that you need to have when you moved out. You know what I mean?
Why are you telling people that we're brother and sister? I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I'm calling that right out right now. Stop it.
No, we are not. We're not brother and sister. We've been dating for 6 years.
Yeah.
Leave us alone, all right, Blake? Do I believe in ghosts? Yeah.
Your dad does.
My dad does. I think so.
I believe in spirits. I don't know that I believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's like a presence in a room sometimes, but there's not ever like, I don't know. It's never like, ooh. Anyway, you know.
Any ghost stories? No, the only thing is, I went to a jail. In Melbourne, and they were talking about like stories about where people died and stuff like that. And as we're going on this tour in the dark, I heard shuffling in a room, and I shat bricks. Right, my dad, who's like he's not a burly man, but he's probably like 90-something kilos. I'm trying to get on the other side of him so I don't get raped by ghosts, and he pushes me back into the doorway where the ghost sounds came from. Like, you're a piece of shit, horrible father. Why have you done this to me? Like, you know, he's supposed to be this big tough guy, and he made me like he threw me to the fucking ghost to get raped by like criminal ghosts, and then I'm like, fuck you, you know. And then every time I tell him about it, every time I bring it up, I just like roast him for it. It's like, you literally threw your son in a doorway
to
get raped by ghosts. You know, I'm not about to have that.
Ghosts.
Criminal ghosts. Well, it's in a jail, right? They're not just any ghosts. They're ghosts that people that killed people, right?
Oh,
You know what I
God.
mean? And so no cap. Like I literally heard like shuffling, like loud like feet shuffling in the thing. I looked in there and it was empty. I'm like, this is whack. Like this is fucking crazy.
Which is scarier, pollen or ghost?
No, can you? Okay, have you ever like? Okay, I'm gonna go get your phone. I see a table that's got pollen on it. I'm gonna put your phone on the table, right? And you're gonna pick it up and feel like that smushy, fucking sticky, gross yellow shit on your phone. And I go, fuck you. And I'm gonna turn it around and like scrape it on the bottom as well. So your screen's got that too.
Reagan he won't watch the B movie. He can't do it. The pollen just gets to him.
Unexplainable stories. Hey, Sapir.
I'd burn my phone.
I'd burn my phone, exactly.
No, I don't have any unexplainable
pollen
stories.
can actually hurt me. Oh shit! What? Hay fever or what? Like actual allergies?
I don't know.
I'd burn my phone. Salty.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's kind of really it, I guess, for ghost stories for me.
Yeah.
My dad's always like taking photos and he's like, look, there's a speck on the thing. That means there's a ghost there. I'm like,
okay, it might just
and
be
like,
pollen.
he'll use an app, like a random fucking phone app, and he'll be like, I'm scanning for ghosts. I'm like, who are you? I'm like, this guy that's like supposed to be like ghost hunter,
Oh,
and he throws me in front of the doorway for ghosts. Like this guy.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but I just don't like it. I just don't like things on my phone, like people that like walk around and have like shit on the bottom of their feet, and then they put socks on, and they put shoes on, or people that like walk around with socks on, and then they put the shoes on without like wiping it off.
He goes to put socks on, and he's like, and then he puts a sock on.
Who doesn't do that? Who goes, all right?
Who's walking on ground that's that filthy?
You don't know.
Anyway.
You don't know. So it's like those little like specks of like crap and like things that your feet pick up from like, I don't know, you know when like you press on something and your finger can pick up things? Like that's with your foot. Who just doesn't wipe them before he does it? Like that's criminal. It's actual criminal. Allergies do a lot more than being spooked by some spirit. How do you guys get this whole thing set up? Basically casting this thing is set up because I have a computer over there, and usually have my streaming room set up. This is actually my bedroom. I share a bedroom with my brother. He's at his dad's, so your boy is streaming freely on this. But essentially, we've moved the camera from there to here, and I moved my mixer and my microphones to basically here as well, because it's all attached to my computer that's behind this TV. So we can all look at the TV and like talk to you guys and like chat, and also monitor the outputs if we need to as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't make a fuss about it. But yeah, she like went like that to him when I was like, he just pushed me in front of like the doorway, and I heard.
I was like,
shit.
why did you just hit me?
She got mad. She got mad. Like, yeah, she smacked him. Whole podcast type thing, a fake couch, dude. It's got like
it's so bad.
rippages on it, and I don't know where it comes from, and it kind of puts me off. Like, button couch.
Like I knew this couch. Sorry, pardon me. I knew this couch like wasn't cute, but then looking at it on the stream, I'm just like, it's not it.
It's not it.
Just isn't it? Is it?
Man, imagine hitting MrsDeer. I'm sorry. She's got like strong muscles now. She's like,
yeah, ooh. I'm huge. Can you see?
But the podcast. So we did a podcast called Milky Toucan. A long time ago, and I wanted to start it. I wanted to do a podcast, and we started it in 2017, 2018.
Yeah, something like that.
And we did that. Then we did I think 13 episodes, and we stopped. And then it started getting successful. I think it got 1,000 views, downloads per episode, which was pretty cool. But the issue is, my friend that we did it with, he went to America.
There
for a
is
few
such
months.
thing as being too comfortable. Lol. Hey Neo.
My hands were not doing anything naughty. You can see the stream. You can watch the whole thing. I haven't been doing
I don't
anything.
know that anybody's been playing that.
No, that's what he means by too comfortable. That's what I see it as.
Okay.
You can punch him back. That's it. She gets to cut your hair again. Yeah, I know. I know. No, Reagan.
Anyway,
But we did. What we do?
we did a couple of episodes of that, and then it just got really hard because Tim, the other co-host, he he went to America first of all. We did a couple episodes when he came back, but he just it was really hard to organize time with. I was working a lot, and then I was supposed to be like a mediator essentially.
Yeah.
And then it just got too hard to organize all of it together at the right time and find a place where, because he still lives at his parents' house and we were still both living at our parents' place, and like you don't have the space to do it or the facilities, I suppose.
Yeah, and the comfortability of being like, hey, everyone shut up, we're doing a podcast, or like, hey, no one come in this room, like the lounge room or something, could be shooting a podcast.
Yeah.
So it was really hard for everyone in that, but it was quite successful, and I did enjoy it, but there was aspects where I don't know, it was kind of laborious because I had to edit it, which is probably why I'm pretty lazy when it comes to this. 'Cause I'm like chop done, because like you don't need to cut out anything,
unless you like know something that you said was not appropriate.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is right, and it was just like hard for me because I would bring all the equipment. I bought the equipment, I brought it, had to edit it or upload it, schedule it, like all that stuff. So it was like, no, it was good to have him. It was good to have him on, but next time I'd like to kind of have some steps in place to be like, okay, who's responsible for this, and this is how it's going to go, as opposed to not knowing and just doing it as it comes. Yeah. How is your job? Do you have one? I know the corona stuff affected a lot. So yeah, I started my job on the 2nd of Feb. Coronavirus was there, and I worked quite a bit at the office, settled in, did some like training and stuff like that.
You were there for about 6 weeks.
Yeah. And then one day, the facility, like I worked in a utility, and basically it's like it's got thousands of staff in there. It's 9 floors, very big building, and they're like, yep, everyone's evacuating, everyone's leaving. You can taking their laptops, or taking like all this stuff home with them, and we're gonna be working from home until further notice. I'm like, okay. So that happened 7-8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
More than that maybe now.
Mid-March.
Beginning
to mid-March.
Yeah, it was. So it's been like that, and I've been working from home ever since. So I haven't been able to switch off from work really, because my computer's there, my bed's there, which means like I sit there for 8 hours. I don't really move because I have no reason to get up, get a coffee, or when I do eat, I do move. But it's like I sit there. When I finish, I stay there, and then I play games or do documents or something like that, and then move there. And I kind of feel like it's Groundhog Day. I didn't realize that it's Mother's Day tomorrow, in South Australia, and it's like I don't know what time it is. My hair's fallen out. So yeah, it's good. It's good to work, but it's also really strange to start work in a time like this. I don't know what is the reference point.
Yeah. Yes.
At least you have your work. Yeah, you're right. I am lucky that I have work. I feel bad for people that don't have work. That is something to be grateful for. But I do worry that eventually that might change, and I'm the last one in the business, so I'll be the first one out if that happens. So I am mindful of that. But as well.
South Australia, things are on the up again.
Yeah,
and I think we haven't been too badly hit. So I think we've kind of mostly come out unscathed. Really, I mean, people living paycheck to paycheck have obviously suffered a lot, because that's a really hard position to be in. But from a business point of view, I think your workloads, I mean, it's slowed down a little, but it's not dramatic. It's nothing like some of my other friends who have had to go part-time because they just don't have enough work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're on the out now.
You're the same as well. Like, if you guys didn't know, Meeg's literally changed jobs like a week or two before.
Like 4 weeks.
It was the end of February.
Yeah, so I left my job
2 weeks
in the beginning of February. like when Reagan started his new job, I left mine, and then that was all fine. I took a month off, which was good, really, really good. I really needed it for my mental health more than anything, but just in general to like have a break, because I'd been studying for 3 years and working, and I had taken on a lot of the emotional and like mental burden from working, and it was affecting me, and it was also affecting my relationships with my family and with Reagan and all that kind of stuff. So that was a bit tough, but yeah, I left, and then I started a new job second week of March.
Yeah.
And then I stopped working end of March.
Yeah.
So I worked there for 3 weeks, and then that was it.
So I feel bad for you, because everyone got this job seeker keeper allowance.
Yeah.
You
Which
still
I
haven't
didn't qualify for.
Hey.
Which I didn't qualify for,
you
because
don't
I left
qualify
my job.
because she left her job. She hasn't been in a new job for 12 months, and she's not a part-time or full-time worker, so that means she's not eligible, because you have to be a casual worker that's worked at a job for 12 months. So it's like huge middle finger for her. Her job obviously her job's a cafe, so obviously receives stuff. But it sucks because she just started a job and she doesn't get anything for that, even though she deserves it.
But there's heaps of people out there that deserve it too, that don't get it and need it.
The kids you're right, but kids that don't deserve it, like there's 16-year-old kids that work one shift a week, and they've been working there for 12 months. They get $1,500 a fortnight. That's like, I can't do maths right now. That's like 30 weeks' wages for them a fortnight.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a lot of money for younger people, but it's fine, and it is what it is, and I'm really grateful that I haven't been badly affected. I don't know anybody that's gotten sick. I don't know anybody that's been really, like, some of my friends have lost their jobs and they can't pay rent and things like that, like Chris, and
did she?
Yeah. And like, she can't pay rent, and she just started a new job as well, so she was working 2 jobs and lost both of them. And then one of my other friends, like, she lost her job because they closed all the pubs and everything like that, and then ended up having to work in a call center, and then they let her go after 4 weeks, and it was all. I am really lucky, and I'm not upset at all by this. Like, I don't feel like a victim at all in any of this. I'm not bothered. I am really, really good with money, and I am quite frugal, and I've been able to manage my money well up until this point, and so I just knew, like, oh, that's fine. I just have to continue to be the way I am, perhaps a little bit more conscious of spending, and that's fine. But now, I mean, I might get to go back to work, and if we do move out, I do qualify for payments, so because I am still studying, so whatever happens, we've got a grip on it, and I'm not bothered.
It's a crazy times, boys and girls. Crazy times.
Yes.
But yeah, have you felt, Megs, that you have you felt?
Don't do that.
Have you felt that you've done the justice, and I've done justice for you for this episode of the podcast?
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. The start was a bit slow.
Yeah,
that was not great.
We were hungry. We were tired.
Yeah, we were both so exhausted. We didn't go to bed till like 2. Then we woke up at just before 9. And then we did stair sprints, and we played basketball for like an hour.
She's actually better than basketball than me at shooting.
I think Bum was good content.
Finger Bum was great content.
I love a good Finger Bum.
It was. If it was not for the death,
I would love stay-at-home orders. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's a really fair statement.
What?
If it wasn't for the death, like if people weren't dying, staying at home would be great.
Yeah, no, that's the other thing, is that I'm glad that jobs can be like, hey, we just now have identified that working out from home is productive.
Yeah.
And if you don't think it is, then like, obviously those businesses are all gone broke anyway, because everyone has to be at home anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to have that option, I think, now, and to have work flexibility. I think we will definitely have that now.
Yeah,
which is good. Our work's pretty good, but I think, hey, can I work 1-2 days a week at home?
Mm-hmm.
if they go, okay, we have your client's happy with that, then sure, but maybe
Yeah.
not. But that'd be great because then you can like spend time with your kids if you got some. Spend time, not having to.
With your partners on housework, whatever.
Yeah, and you're still doing work, but you don't have to transit like 2 hours every day.
Yeah.
And that's 4 hours. If you did 2 days a week, that's 4 hours of no transiting. That's saving money in transiting. It's saving stress.
Yeah. For sure.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
Have you seen D's? No, you've done it too quick, man.
No, he didn't. He did leave it there for a little bit.
It's in the same minute.
Oh, well, maybe it wasn't that much of it.
The ozone healing is crazy. I've heard about it. I've heard about all the sharks in the water is
That
clearing
Reagan
up.
didn't know that sharks were fish.
No, okay. I'm gonna find it. Maybe it's Victorian education. There's a thing that said sharks are mammals, and then they lay like they're like baby sharks are born, like given birth, and I was like, that's weird, aren't they fish?
No.
And then I was like, and then like they got to protect them because they'll get eaten or something like that. No. Sharks are fucking fish. They lay little
I can't believe
Scupular-
you're shitting on me, dear.
scupular eggs, and they hatch from these eggs. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
'Cause I got a question wrong. Whales, on the other hand, they're mammals. They aren't mammals. They give birth. Big baby birth.
But yes. No, I do think you've done me justice, and I will be back for sure. Maybe we'll do another episode once we move into our place, and we can talk about all the things that have changed and all the updates in our life.
Yeah, and if you haven't, go subscribe to our YouTube, Meaghan ampersand as the and Reagan. We are at 1256 subs. Subway subs. Pretty happy with that. We haven't really promoted that much ever, and I'm really happy with where we're at.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for 5
You need
years.
to watch my video.
113,000 views.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes. Once we get a bit more consistent with content, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah,
think.
yeah. We're inspiring to kids as well. Like our nieces and nephews thought we were famous on TikTok. That was great. That's
we
so
were on
cute.
their For You page. They were like, "My auntie and uncle are famous," and we were like, "Well, we'll take it."
We'll take it. We'll take it as long as we influence you.
Yeah.
And the thing what touched me is the thing about what Maya said about the skin.
Yeah. So if you guys have watched that video that I uploaded, my skin has been I've been transitioning off the pill. And I also Neo not promoted it. You held me at gunpoint till I subbed.
Well, excuse me?
Anyway.
I don't recall.
But
It's when criminals don't think they've done anything wrong.
Keegan's here.
Hey, Keegan.
You flake. Anyway, and I my skin's been really bad because I've been transitioning.
Did I
off the
make you
pill.
preggers? That's what he said.
Yeah, I'm having Keegan's baby. Anyway, I've been transitioning off, and so my skin's been getting really bad. And I was filming this video, and I didn't want to put makeup on just before I was about to put more makeup on for this video. So I was like, I'll just do it.
Did I
with,
make you preggers?
With like no makeup on, and then.
No, sorry, I had the bar. Sorry, Keegan. Miscarriage.
Okay. Anyway, and I was like, I'm not going to put makeup on to do this. I'm just going to do it with whatever. And I did it, and I didn't really think anything of it. I mean, obviously, I was my skin looks like shit. Okay. And I uploaded it, and I didn't really think anything of it. And our eldest niece, she's 13, 14? In that age bracket. Anyway, she's just going into high school, and she's like going through all of that kind of stuff. And she was watching my video, and she said to her mum, who's Reagan's brother's girlfriend, she was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that Meaghan got pimples," and her mum was like, "Yeah, like she's a human, they get those," and she was like, "Oh, okay." And her mum was telling me, and we were having a conversation about it, and she was like, that's the good thing about YouTube is that you get to see more real stuff. It's like they've only ever seen people in movies and on TV who have perfect skin, who are like airbrushed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was really nice for me to know that I'm having that impact on these kids of like, I'm somebody that they enjoy the company of, I think. Like we go around there and we hang out with them and they want to tell us about their lives and stuff. And then they see us doing things on big platforms where I'm not phased about having blemishes on my skin because it's super normal.
And you talk about it and go, oh, I got blemishes on my skin. Oh, well. It's like, it is what it is. And I think for especially young girls, that's very, very important to hear.
Because when I was that age, I was in a really, really bad place with it. And I got not bullied, but there was one person who was really, really nasty to me about it. And then yes, Keegan, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And yeah, it was really, really nasty about it. And that made me really upset. And that's half the reason that I did go on the pill in the first place. It wasn't for any sort of contraception in the beginning. Like, that was, well.
In the beginning.
Well, I stayed on it because it was a benefit. Anyway, and it was just like, I wonder if makeup would make my
I would love to have Blake on the podcast and talk about its eye.
Yeah, Reagan was telling me about that today, and I was just like, what the fuck?
So when Blake and Jacob, one of our closest friends, when they were like very young, I think 3 or 4, they were playing with scissors, and they threw them up in the air, and Blake was like, scissors, and landed in his eyeball, and now he's blind.
Thank you, Neo, for offering to go to the bully's house and perform an upper decker.
Please don't be shitting on their head.
It was actually a boy, and he is one of the worst people that exists. So, and I'm sure that karma is really right on their way to him. So it's totally fine. Anyway,
don't do that, Neo. Why not?
Okay,
it was Keegan. It was Keegan. He was like,
yeah,
no, please don't.
Keegan was the bully.
Okay, go do it.
But yeah, that's something that makes me want to keep making content.
Yeah,
hearing stuff like that. Like, yeah, they're people we know, but to know that it might reach people like that, that's really exciting.
The weirdest thing is, I think of all, is that like, if they're the reason like that anything for us takes off, it's because like
they tell their friends about it.
They tell their friends about it. And like my auntie and uncle are famous. I'm like, okay. Is this how this works? Like, I know it's all mostly through word of mouth, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, people come back to our channel a lot.
Upper decker is when you crap the tank of a toilet instead of the bowl. Huh? Oh.
Okay, I was close. So an upper decker is when you shit in the water reservoir instead of the toilet bowl. That's nasty, man.
That's so bad.
Because you'd always get poo water and it fill back up and it'd slowly become like one.
And that's today's episode of Deer and Friends.
Yeah, no, but it then like.
Ew, Keegan, stop.
It would like algae over. So it'd always be bad water. You can't keep your Glock in there now.
I'm a bit scarred by that, Neo. I don't know that I needed that information.
I think the thing is, Meags is actually doing, as you may have heard, an environmental health practice. So
that's why it's a suitable punishment.
That is so like up her alley of things she would not want to witness.
No, because oh god, my dad was telling me just quickly before we go. My dad was telling me about the other day, because one of my things that I'm studying at the moment is no. Okay, so Keegan's just said that Deer looks like he's so rugged up.
He's a sook rugged up while
dumping it out. But no, we started this. I was curled up with the blanket over my legs, and Reagan was just sitting over on the couch, and he slowly just pulled the blanket up over his body. And I didn't notice it was up in his neck until just now.
You can see the transition.
Anyway, and one of my projects at the moment is about tattoo and body piercing safety and regulation. And I was looking at like all needles need to be single use wherever possible, especially hollow needles, because they're almost impossible to sterilize.
That's right, Keegan. Your needles single use. Use once.
Anyway, and I was like talking to my parents about it, and Dad was like, "Oh yeah, I remember when we used to get injections, like vaccinations, and they would literally just have it, and they go in one kid, and then they'd fill it up again and in the next kid and fill it up. And then when it started getting too blunt to go in, they'd change the needle. So they'd probably only use like maybe 3 needles for a class. Yeah, you'd want to be the kid where they just changed it and then you get the next one.
No.
Yeah, and I was like, that's disgusting, and I don't ever want to be exposed to that.
Boomers!
And my dad was like, yeah, we're tough. Like, he was making a joke out of himself, but he was like, yeah, we're so much tougher than you are. And I was like, okay, you can go and be tough, and I'll be here keeping my hepatitis B to myself. Thank you. I don't have hepatitis B, just by the way.
Yeah, I was like,
I've been
first I've heard
vaccinated.
about it. Thank
I've
you.
been vaccinated. It's fine. Anyway, but yeah, it's the regulations have changed so much over time, and I just think it's so interesting. I just love that stuff.
Yeah,
I
it's
get
like
crazy about
in the
it.
70s and 80s when they like lobotomized people that were like
Mentally ill,
with a mentally ill. It's like,
or you could just I don't know, help them.
help. It's like, what? Why like mush up their brain? Like,
Yeah.
why is mushing up their brain helping them?
It's not. It doesn't.
It
If
doesn't.
anybody's read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest,
Although Dale went to a mental rehab facility. I don't know what they're called, like the correct word for calling them, not PC, but you know what they're actually called, because I don't think a sane asylum's the correct word
no.
at all. And yeah, he had to like clean up pee throughout the hallways all the time and like shit on the floor. And like, what? How are these people running around just shitting on the floor? Like, what?
I'm just this chat right now.
We haven't done that here since dude started stabbing
Each other's bums, but also Keegan saying on the same arm or once per arm. So it's like I would get stabbed, and then they'd go to the next kid and stab that kid, and then they go to the next kid and stab that kid, and then yeah, it's fucked. It's so fucked.
I'm going bold,
There's
guys.
literally guidelines of how what kind of bin. Talking about the single-use needles, you can only do one procedure with one needle. So like if you're giving a tattoo, for example, you can do the whole tattoo with the same needle. That's fine because it's the same person. But like if you're like doing something and then you put it down or you go wherever, like you can only use it for one procedure.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's guidelines on like what kind of bins you're allowed to have. So it's like they have to be rigid and they have to be cleaned properly and they have to have a lid on them that stops them from getting like flies or like vermin or anything like that, any other pests in it. And it also has to stop odors coming out. And yeah, there's like all sorts of guidelines that people just don't even think about.
I feel sorry for the people that have to like pick up and handle and manage and clean sanitary waste bins. I saw it be collected once outside of my work and I was like, poor lady. She's driving around.
Well, they don't touch it.
No, but I could just the smell.
Yeah.
Imagine like
does
old
smell.
sanitary like pads and
contribute to
tampons
that.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to talk before we go. I would like to talk about that. It's like, imagine I'm pressing on my larynx. Imagine having to like clean up like a tampon bin that's like months old.
No, it's never ever months old.
But long enough for it to go. Ugh.
What, like a couple hours?
But I didn't realize like the ones that have like the two-way door, so when you open it up, you can't put your hand in.
Yeah.
The gross if a tampon is on the lid, and it slides down.
Yeah.
It slides down, and the blood's touching the top.
No, people wrap it in.
Not all.
No, I know not all, but as you get older, you learn that you need to be wrapping things up.
Because I've tried to put things in like a bin, because if it's like gender neutral or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even know why I'd put them in there.
Yeah, what have you got in the toilet that you need to put in the
Maybe
bin?
like stuff in my like school bag or something like that. I'm like, put it in the bin, like an old apple or something like that.
You're not supposed to put anything but sanitary waste stuff in there.
Well, now you know. I don't, not often, but it's like...
Welcome to the abortion clinic, where yesterday Review was today. So,
no. But, like, that's gross. I'm sorry, but that's gross.
Yeah.
Like, old blood is gross.
Yeah, it is. Neo says, I have a wife and 2 kids. My trash can looks like a CSI trash bin.
Then that's fine, because it's, like, probably quite often changed, but it's like, they're your wife and kids, not random
Yeah.
people that you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if like you tripped over and that bin just fell over and it just went out.
Anyway, what were you gonna say before we go?
Your diva cup.
Yeah. What about it?
I would like you to explain and be an advocate for that. I mean, I've spoke about it before, but actually from someone
Have
that's
you?
yes,
Okay.
quite a lot,
Interesting.
but from someone that actually uses it
Yeah.
and can speak properly on behalf of it, as opposed to a dude that's like, yeah, pretty good.
I mean, I like it. It's a good alternative. I think it's really good.
Essentially, it's a
okay.
silicone cup that is a replacement for a tampon or a pad.
Or
And I
it's
apologize for the guys.
It's a collection method.
Yes,
That's
I
what you call
apologize for the men that don't need it unless you got like bum ulcers and you need to collect blood or something. I don't
Anyway,
know.
I think if anybody's not comfortable here talking about this stuff, then
Grow
they
up.
need to grow up, and that's just it.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, it's a collection method. It's basically just a silicone cup, and it works in the same way in that like a tampon would, or any other of those kind of things. Okay, Keegan's leaving. And you just put it in, and it catches everything, and you only have to empty it every 12 to 20. Well, they recommend shorter than that, but I only ever emptied 12 to 24 hours. Keegan's back. Because it's a lot larger and it doesn't leak as much. It's comfortable. I mean, I don't know how many women are
And
actually
it's
listening
cheaper.
to this. Yeah, so I paid $50 for mine, $55, and I've used it now for 2 years. And I mean, I wasn't ever buying my own tampons because I lived at home, but it's so much cheaper. But yeah, it's comfortable. You can't feel it. It's really good. The only problems that I do have with it is that when you're in a public place, or if you're somewhere like a lot of Australian households, I don't know if it's common elsewhere, but have separate toilets. So you've got the toilet and then you've got the bathroom.
Yes, the toilet's by itself,
so
and it's not.
That's the thing, is that and Neo's just asked, what about risk of infection? That's the important part, is that you need to be odd that I would ask, but I have daughters, lol. Yeah, so that's the thing, is you just have to make sure that you're in some sort of place where you're able to wash it out properly. If you're showering in the morning, you can change it then, and then that's fine. And if you're really ever desperate, and I have been in a couple of situations where I am desperate sometimes, like you just take it and then you just wipe it out with like
Toilet paper.
Yeah, toilet paper. That's what it's
And
called.
for Keegan, vaginas are not the same as the pee hole. Okay, in case you didn't
Anyway.
know, all right?
Yeah, so like, of course there is a risk of infection, like there is with anything. Like there's a risk of toxic shock syndrome, and also this is just me, and I mean, I don't know, I feel like everybody else is probably the same. Like if someone was like, hey Reagan, would you like to take this thing and bleed on it and then sit on it for 3 hours? No, like probably not, right?
You heard my pollen thing, right?
Yeah,
You heard that? Were you there for that?
Like, I don't want to sit in my own blood for 3 to 4 hours a day.
No.
That's gross.
Yeah.
And so that's why I like it. It's
and
more
you can go
environmentally
swimming
friendly.
with it as well.
Oh yeah, you can swim with it. Although fun fact, you don't bleed when you're in water. When you're submerged in water, you will not bleed. Yeah.
No, that's not. What? This is
15 or under, yeah, you probably could. I started using tampons when I was 13, so I got my period at 12. I started using tampons at 13, and then I only started using this when I was 18, but that's because I'd only heard about it. You can buy, so there's 2 sizes. So you've got one for a woman who's never been pregnant, and then one for a woman who has, because obviously if you've had a baby, then you've got
a big vagina.
Different flow is what I was going to say, but anyway.
Okay. A big pussy.
Right. But yeah, I think it's fine. If they're comfortable with tampons, then they're absolutely comfortable. And I would absolutely recommend it, because you can go to, there you go, large cervix. So you can go to sleepovers. Like I can have mine in, and I can go to my friend's house and have a sleepover, and I don't have to change it while I'm there. I can be somewhere for 12 hours.
You feel so comfortable with that.
And so you don't have to worry like, oh, do they have a bin in their house? Where am I going to put it? If you're on a school excursion, you don't have to worry about going to the toilet leaking through your clothes, because that is such a real fear for a lot of girls.
Yeah.
Because boys are really immature and they just don't understand it, and so they make fun of it. And girls are there to help, but there's only so much you can do once you've bled on your clothes.
Yeah, and I love Neo in general, but also because he's the only one that stuck around. Because everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Peace, I'm out of
There's
here."
still 4 viewers. We only had 6 before.
I know. They're like, "Peace, I'm out of here. This is gross." It's like, grow up.
But
Come
yeah,
on.
I think if they're using tampons, then it's absolutely a good idea.
Yeah.
You've just got to wash it out properly, and after, you probably don't have to do it after everyone, and different brands will recommend different things, but to sterilize mine, all I do is I just put it on the stove and I boil it in boiling water for like 10 minutes, and it just boils, and I let it sit there, and then it's sterilized,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
And if you don't want to mix your tampon,
Or just pour it in a cup with a
Saucepan.
kettle.
oh yeah, yeah, that's
Like
true.
there's so many ways that you can do it, and they recommend that you wash it with like fragrance-free soap, but you don't have to. Like it's good, but
Because boiling does the same thing.
yeah,
Like there ain't no like
like if you got it on a rolling boil for a number of minutes. Amoebas, yeah.
Amoebas. There's not many amoebas sitting
No.
inside you.
No, but yeah, I think one of the big things to note also is that if you are in a lower socioeconomic bracket, which I like probably doesn't apply to anybody here, because if they're watching a Twitch stream, then they're like probably able to access running water and toilets and things like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
people who don't have access to any kind of running water, then it is a risk. And yes, it can help them, but oftentimes just using a rag or a pad or something like that is better for people who don't have access to anything. So that's the other side of the argument. But as somebody, as a young female in Australia that has access to very, very good amenities, it's perfect. It's very, very convenient for me, and
And it doesn't like spin the wheels of those big companies that like are making money from women bleeding.
Yeah.
Like our government, I mean, there was a thing back then, but they still haven't changed it because their government's run by men.
Yeah. Might I just add, just quickly, I said mine was $50 to $55. That's probably the equivalent of what, like 30, 35 American dollars?
1.5, so I can't do maths right now.
Yeah, like $30 American. Super affordable.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's right. But in Australia, like having we in Australia, GST is like goods and service tax, and it's like things that aren't required. So with water, you don't have to pay GST because it's a required
live,
thing to live.
essentially.
Electricity is not required, so you have to pay GST apparently. But but fruit and vegetable, you don't have to, and like unpackaged foods, I guess, are not GSTable.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so fresh fruit and stuff, and like school supplies, I think, are as well.
Okay, there you go.
But it's only 10% on top of whatever you're paying. So if you're paying
and it's
$50,
included in the price. Thank you very much, America.
that's right. So it's
no confusion.
Then it's included in the price. That's VAT, I think. America is. I don't remember. I know Canada's VAT. Value added tax or something.
I don't know.
But tampons and pads and all that stuff,
They get taxed.
they get taxed. It's like, why does the government have to make money on this? On people like women bleeding? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's like literally like a human right? Like, because it does have health effects if you don't.
Yeah.
So
If you don't clean it up, yeah.
yeah, if
Yeah,
it's like
for
bleeding
sure.
through your clothes and stuff like that.
And
And
they talk
it's
about
a health
it.
effect for other people.
Yeah.
If you're sitting on a train and you're like not using it, and it's just like on the seat, and then
Yeah.
someone like
And
has
you
a
have
cut
some
on
sort
their
of
butt cheek or
bloodborne
something.
Disease.
Yeah,
You've
and-
just transmitted that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's a good way to end the show. Meeks, love you lots, and thank you for joining. I apologize that it took so long.
No.
She was like, "When we gonna do it? When we gonna do it?"
Yeah. I kept commenting.
But I would like to do this more often, especially when we move out. We're gonna
We'll do
actually
the
have
next one once we've moved in.
together.
Yeah.
Probably the next one will be with Megs again. Apologies if you get sick of
We
her.
can do one with another person in between now and then.
But I plan to. But it'll be so hot and spicy. We might be able to put some wallpaper up on the walls, maybe. Like
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
the stuff. No, not the shit stuff. Like the
Yeah.
stuff that you can like pull down. It's
Peel
not
off.
gonna.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You should look up how tribal women in Africa deal with periods. That shit is brutal. Yeah. It's and when you look at stuff like that, it's I have so many things to say. I just can't spit it out.
Don't
right
people
now.
get their like?
Girls stop going to school because they they can't go to school because they're bleeding. And that's why women suffer, their education suffers, because for 1 week out of every 4, a quarter of their life, once they hit
That's to stay
puberty,
home.
they can't go to school because a lot of them have open toilets. So, like, imagine going to the toilet on your period and it's open in front of everybody. That's not cool.
No.
In general, it's not cool.
Yeah.
But it's a totally vulnerable thing, and
Yeah.
there's a whole.
That's some weird shit. That I mean, weird for us, but getting your foreskin cut off.
Yeah.
At
Here we go again.
At like 15 is a weird time.
Yeah.
They do it with
know,
hot
I know.
knives.
Anyway, the 1,000-degree knife challenge.
Ah! All right. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We're ending the podcast here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. Go check out Meag's at Meaghan Reagan. I'm here too, but it's
mostly me.
It's her mostly. I'm a lazy shit, as you can see. I'm in a cocoon. Where else can we look at you? Instagram. You want to
my
promote that?
Instagram's at Meaghan Gibbs _
Yeah. We got TikTok, Meaghan Reagan.
Yeah.
We got
If
Twitter.
you look at Reagan socials, I'm tagged in everything there.
She's
so.
a pretty blonde girl with a short hair now. So
Yes, I just chopped it.
check her out, but not too long, because I'll kill you.
Unless it's Keegan.
No, not unless it's Keegan.
All right.
Especially not him, you little vermin.
Vermin. Did you hear that, Keegan? XD.
All right, all right, guys. I need to go put some jumper on. I'm freaking cold.
We couldn't tell.
Whoa!